Hey guys, welcome to B2GM Masters Platinum 3. And in today's video, we are going ham. We're going ham, boys. So, it's Platinum League, and we're getting a little bit better at the game now, over and over and over. We're trying to speed up our max out by another 30 seconds faster. We're also going to add in a couple moves into what we're going to do now, and what it's going to really be is it's going to be what we like to call pre-fight micro, and we'll go through it throughout the games that we play. But it's going to be a lot of setting up the fight before the fight happens, essentially. A lot more of that, and we're going to start doing more with our drops a little bit. But overall, same concept still. So, get the game started. Good luck, have fun. Get it started, and let's go ahead and make an SUV. Let's go ahead and make a depot right over here, boy. A depot.
Not enough minerals.
Still making our shit. We're stacking close patches. We're doing all the techniques we've already learned, right? And now we have rapid fire too. So later on in the game, if I ever realize, oh, I got a bunch of mules, I can just rapid fire quickly on a base and drop a bunch of mules at it really fast and forget about it. Again, time is of the essence later on. So now we make our racks. We also make our gas.
Not enough minerals.
And we're chilling. And we are chilling, guys. Let's get our gas saturated. Let's go ahead and get our natural. Let's get our orbital. Let's get our SCV going to his base. Scout him up. Scout that boy. Scout his ass. Natural gonna start in just a second. And yeah, we're chilling. See, like so far, everything's pretty much the same, right? We're just trying to get more and more efficient at what we do. That's all we're really doing. Trying to make everything always a little bit cleaner than it was before. Clean up the macro.
Command center upgrade complete.
Let's get a depot.
Not enough minerals.
So we can not supply block. Let's also go ahead and start a reactor now, and also a factory in a second. We should start factory first, to be fair, and then we'll go for a reactor. So let's start a factory right now. Keep SCVs pumping. What's going on here? We see a Protoss player with no expansion. Okay. So we just made a reactor. Notice how I didn't stare at my SCV the whole time? I made a reactor, guys, during that. It was nice, right? But he doesn't have an expansion. So let's go ahead and make a bunker now, because this is you know, potentially going to attack us. This is definitely some one-base shenaniganola action. Okay. So we're getting all our SCVs. All of our SCVs are still constantly being told to do their jobs. Keep mining the minerals. Keep mining the gas. Keep making the money. Alright, this SCV can chill at the natural. It's all good. Start making marines. Make our second racks with our tech lab factory.
Add-on complete.
Okay, now we can start making our tanks. We'll make like 3 tanks again, just like before. Get this like a failsafe. Okay, we're getting void ray proxy. So it's a void ray proxy, guys. So now here's a cool thing we can start doing. If it's a void ray proxy, let's stop making tanks, and let's start making something called a cyclone. This is going to be a new unit we can use defensively if our opponent is like this and he attacks us really early with a fucking void ray. Now let's go back to our build as was before. Let's go ahead and make our stuff. Our tech lab, the barracks. Blah, blah, blah. Put 4 marines back in the bunker. And now let's leave my units in my main base. And why are we doing this? We're doing this because it's going to increase the chances we're not going to die if we have our defense kind of spread out among the base.
Add-on complete.
Okay, keep making units. Okay, there he's attacking me right now, right? So we can unload the bunker, or yeah, because he's attacking the main again. We can make another cyclone again and keep making marines. He actually killed the cyclone. It's okay. It's annoying, right? It's a little annoying,
Additional
but it's
supply
still
depots
okay.
required.
It is what it is. It happens. Go make a
Additional
couple
supply
more
depots.
depots. Okay. Keep my units kind of grouped up a little bit. Okay, he's now attacking me with a zealot. Go ahead and kill that. Just aim move the area. Make sure my army stays together. Like, keep our army kind of close by each other.
Supply depots.
I heard you were making the Gold 2BM guide. Is this it?
The what? Yeah. This is Terran in that guide, and it's currently at the Platinum 3 level. Thank you very much, Kaladin Stormrage, for the 100 bits. Much love, dude. Okay, so we got our main base is fully saturated. Our natural is coming up as well in saturation.
Insufficient Vespene
We're just trying to make
gas.
units as much as possible, and we're choosing to make cyclones right now, only because our opponent is actually going for mass void rays, like really early. So, and he's also doing a proxy void ray shield battery all in. So we're just macroing, guys. It's just macro central over here. Make another cyclone.
Insufficient. Not
We're
enough
chilling.
minerals.
Okay, now he's hitting my main base, so let's A move the area. Don't micro. Don't worry about the micro. It's not a big deal. Now we got our gases done at our natural, so we can go ahead. I can regroup my army together again. Let's go ahead and start a couple of engineering bays for upgrades. Keep making marines. We can start now also adding in some medevacs to our opener
Not
here.
enough minerals.
And I would say the same rule kind of still applies. You know how we were taking 3 tanks before? This time, let's stop at 3 cyclones. So like 3 tanks or 3 cyclones is all good. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to go into Thors anyways, once we start with upgrades. And if we stop at 3, it's going to alleviate our gas a little bit to allow us to actually do upgrades and things like that. So 3 mech units. Try to, like, but I said 3 or 4 though, right? 3 or 4. And I actually made 4 this game because one of them died. And the only reason why we went to 4 instead of 3 is because we were getting all into like crazy. But we still stopped at actively having 3 after 1 died. So let's A move the area now. We can repair that gas. We can group my army up again.
Not enough
Okay.
minerals.
And we need to start a 3rd command center. We still haven't started a 3rd command center yet, so let's definitely do that. Can build it like up here or something, away from where the voids are, so they doesn't just insta die.
Not enough minerals.
There we go. And let's go ahead and start our armory as
Not
well,
enough minerals.
so that we can go into start our armory, so we can go into upgrades further, and also start making Thors. We're still making SCVs the entire time. We can lower our depots all over the place so they don't path block my army. Okay, we can A move this area. We can stim pack it now because the stim pack's done. Cool, 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 cool. Very cool. Keep making SCVs. And now let's go ahead and do this. Green box. And let's load up 1 medevac and let's go around the left side of the map. Now let's make this medevac control 2 or something. And we can make this army in front of our base right here, like control 1. You can also select our army if you want to, but that does select your drop. You gotta keep that in mind, right? So again, we're still making units, but now we actually have a medevac going to his base, which is mainly for a scout, and it will eventually become an attack. So we're still doing that maneuver. It's just now, because we're getting all in like crazy, we can just do 1 again instead of 2, because it's like, what if he attacks us, right? And our army's super thin because we just sent out 2 drops at once. That could potentially kill us.
Research complete.
So we have our medevac going out. Is there anything we see? We're just waiting on it to
Upgrade
spot
complete.
everything. We can start 2-2 upgrades.
Insufficient
And
mineral
we see no
field
base, so let's go
depleted.
to his main mineral line and drop it. Now we can go back to group 1 and go, hey, group 1, A move that.
Mineral field
And
depleted.
he's now leaving my base again. It's all good. Not a big deal. Now our 3rd base is done. So we can also go back to our drop for a second. Stim pack it.
Center upgrade.
We'll actually start stim packing our drops now too. Once the drop is going, we can stim pack the drop and just like A move the area. Make sure we're actually getting good kills here. Now let's add all these units to group 1. And let's do this. A move our army right here. That way our air units aren't going to fly in and die right away. Let's lift our command center off and get ready to land it right here. And let's kill this fucking group right now of shit in front of my base. So A move this area. Actually, get our army spread, okay? Spread. So our army has a nice concave right here, and now we A move it with stim pack. Okay, and now you can see my money is getting kind of high. And also our SCV count's getting really high. So transfer a bunch of SCVs and land our command center at this base. We can stim pack our army here one more time just to clear it out fast. Drop some mules here. We just did a rapid fire of mules right there. Easy peasy. The way I did that was I went 5 mule hotkey, so it's selected in my hand, hold shift, and then hold T on the mineral line. Just for like a second, and suddenly we dropped like 8 mules or 9 mules within literally a second. Super nice and easy peasy. And yeah, now we can add in some more racks because our money's getting high again. And now we're finally able to take our 3rd base. And now because we have control of the game here, I would say now would be totally fine if you want to do 2 drops at once. We're not getting attacked anymore. Now the game's kind of settled down. So let's do 1 on the left. Let's do 1 on the right.
Upgrade complete.
And now I just made both my medevacs control 1 and control 2. I have no hotkey for my army. So if I want to put my army on a hotkey, I could grab my army and hit like control 3. Or again, I could do select all army. It's all good. This is just in case he attacks me right now and I need to like defend my base. And also not pulling my medevacs back because that's like the worst thing you can do is cancel your drops because you're overreacting to an attack in your base and you select all army and all of it comes back. We're trying to avoid doing that from now on. So we can start getting used to using control groups.
Upgrade complete.
We can put our Thors in the high impact payload. We can make all these new racks we just made into reactors. I can make this command center lift off and land at my 4th base and make it a planetary.
Upgrade complete.
We see a base here, so let's drop it. There's no bases over here, so let's drop the main again. Go back to this one, and let's keep macroing the process. Go back to here now, and let's stim pack it and A-move the area.
Mineral field.
Keep making Thor, keep making medevac. Now let's go back to this drop. Stim pack it, move to the area, and A-move it. So our drops are doing...
40.
Our drops are actually being micro, like pre-fight micro. We're setting up the drop type stim pack. It's definitely doing a lot more than it was before. Thank you very much, Junalife, for the 40, man. Much love.
Add-on complete.
Okay. Let's get our 3-3 upgrades going.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Oops. There we go.
Insufficient Vespene.
And now we can start a bunch more barracks and stuff like that. We can start another command center as well while we're at it because we're fully saturated. Okay. And we're just trying to build up our production as we can get it going. We can get rid of that. We don't really need that anymore because it's just kind of in the way as well. Let's build a couple barracks here instead. Let's go ahead and like transfer some SCVs. This base is good. This base is fine. Transfer some over here. It's all good.
So SD, right?
That's right. Yo, Scarlet. I don't know if that's actually Scarlet, but yo, what's up? SD. Big time SD. Thank you very much for the 2. And now we're maxed out. So now we kind of know where his most exposed base is, right? Because we just saw it earlier. So again, all of our Thors are in high impact payload. Let's get our army going down to the base now. Down to our opponent's area. Let's make a couple of these into tech labs. Let's make another one into a reactor. Grab another factory, starport, a couple more racks. And now our army's kind of down here. We're in an area, right? So before we're going to take the fight, we're going to do this. We're going to scan the area. We're going to go, okay, is he here? If the answer is yes, we're going to pre-spread. If the answer is no, okay, there he is, right? There he is, so let's do this. Keep macroing, don't get tunnel visioned. Now we know he's here. Okay, now he's moving. So let's do this. A move half my army right there, green box it, and A move like half my army over here. To this side. So we just told half my army go to the right, half my army go to the left, right? And now what we can do is we can A move the area with everything all scattered, and we can stim pack, and now suddenly we're going to take a much better fight overall. So this is requiring us to pay a little bit more attention as to like what the fuck is happening on the map. GG. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, dude. And it's still, we're actually still below production. We still want to make like another 3 racks. Just to make sure we can remax instant. Now, let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this, guys. Right? Here we fucking go, dude. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, first things first. Build starts as normal as it normally was before. Everything goes the same. We just try to do it faster and faster and faster, which is the reason why our max out is supposedly faster. This game kind of threw us off, though, because he all-in'd us with the proxy void ray. As you can see, even though, like, for instance, another example of this once again, even though we've lost 3 workers, we're still at a situation where we're actually down by 2 workers at the moment. It's all good. We're Terran. This is kind of normal right now. because Terran has to make orbital commands and stuff like that, which is you're not making workers in the meantime when that's happening. But we do have 2 command centers that are now orbitals, which means they're going to constantly make SCVs from now on, whereas he's on 1 Nexus and that's it. So, you know, there's not much he's going to be able to do to keep up with us. We just have more production. And he wouldn't want to make more anyways if he doesn't expand, because it would just be a lot of oversaturation going on. So, worker count will probably swing back in our favor here pretty fast. As you can see, we're already tied. And now we're already in the lead. And it's going to keep going that way because, again, we have an expansion and our opponent doesn't. So if our opponent doesn't have an expansion, but he does have voids attacking me because he's proxying me with battery void ray, it's all good. We're going to do one thing different about our build. As you've noticed, we just lost the first one of those things. We're going to start adding in cyclones instead of siege tanks. This is not going to be what we're going to do every game, okay? We are not doing this every game. We are just doing this if we get all-in and cheesed, and it happens to also be air units. Now, if this was like Proxy Robo, I could have still gone for tanks. If this was Proxy Pylon with like a council and he's going for like Blink Stalkers or something, we could still go for tanks. But because this was Proxy air units, like it was really, really fast air units is the point I'm trying to make. Before we even made a tank, we were already getting attacked by a Void Ray. Because we confirmed, oh my god, he's going for very fast air units. Stop making tanks. Just stop making tanks. And replace the same job the tanks served the purpose of with cyclones. So we normally make 3 or 4 tanks. We make 3 if we don't feel threatened at all. We make 4 if we're feeling a little bit more threatened and we feel like we need to be a little bit more defensive. It's all G. But now because he's going Void Rays, now we're making cyclones instead of tanks. Cyclones because he's going air, but we're still following the same rule of 3 or 4 cyclones, just like we went with tanks. But now, in this game, we definitely did feel a little bit threatened, and the reason why is because he kept killing shit and flying out of my base. Killing shit, flying out of my base. We weren't able to really capitalize on killing stuff that much. So that is definitely threatening. That does not feel good. That's like, okay, oh god, like whenever this kind of stuff happens, right? We get a cyclone, we have some marines. We try to load our bunker to be safe. Protoss flies back in my base, and he focus fires down my cyclone. We don't have enough DPS here to stop it. He flies away. He goes back to his batteries and heals up. That's threatening. This is now like, okay, we just lost a cyclone. That doesn't feel good. We didn't kill any Void Rays. That definitely doesn't feel good. There was no trade there. It was just a Terran loss. Now, overall, in the end, we will definitely advance over our opponent because we have an expansion and he does not. So we will mine more than he is, as you can see right now. We're definitely crushing him in mining. But again, we got to be careful. We're going to go to 4 cyclones because it makes sense. Because cyclones because he's going air. 4 because he's threatening us and it's actually scary. So, last thing I'm going to say too, just to make sure no one's confused. I am not going to make 4 alive cyclones. I'm just going to make 4 in total. Now, if one happened to die, well, guess what? That means I'm going to go to 3. It's all good. The point is the reason why we're not going to go beyond 4 cyclones, even if it's aggressive, is because if we keep making cyclones the entire time, it's going to severely fuck up our engineering bay upgrades. It's going to fuck up our medevacs. It's going to fuck up our Thor timing. It's going to fuck up things that are better than cyclones. We're just going to make 3 units out of the factory, or 4, if we feel threatened early game and we feel like we need them to not die, right? And we make the tanks by default normally because there's always a chance our opponent might do a big all-in to us with ground units. It's most common when it's that way. So I hope this concept makes sense. I hope it makes sense. We don't want to overmake cyclones because they're actually really bad units later on if you don't micro them properly. So we're making 3 or 4. And now you can see, even though we don't have cyclones, we have a lot of marines, and it's able to actually push the Void Rays back. And the marines actually kill the Void. It's because we're actually outproducing our opponent at this point. He's got 1 Stargate, really, or kind of, I guess 2 now, versus double racks, kind of triple racks because the reactor counts as double racks here because it's producing 2 marines at once. So we're pumping marines at a very fast pace, and it's things are going pretty well for us. Now, there's probably a lot of people out there that are going to say things like this. And I even saw it in chat right now. Vibe, why don't you make a missile turret? Vibe, why don't you make a bunker? Yeah, these things will be more relevant when our build order is cleaner, when we actually use a build order that's not just based off efficiency, you can do things like this where you can make static D all over the place. That makes logical sense. But check this out. Why do we not have a bunker here? The reason why we don't have a bunker here is because it would require more micro on your part to repair it properly. You'd have to repair it, and you'd have to like constantly keep SCVs actively doing this. And if you don't repair it, your bunker could just die immediately, and it would be a waste of effort. And it's also a waste of your minerals. I'd rather you just make more Marines, honestly. Now, the second thing is, Vibe, why don't you make missile turrets? We don't even have an engineering base yet. And you have to have an engineering bay to make a missile turret. It requires an engineering bay. We are not deviating from the build and rushing engineering bays, because if we did that, if we rushed engineering bays and then we rushed turrets while trying to expand, while making SCVs, all that would happen is yes, we could make turrets, but we would have, instead of having 14 Marines, we would have about like 4 or 5, maybe 6. Like, do you see what I mean? Money doesn't come out of nowhere. We have to pick and choose what we do with our money. And if I make turrets, I can't make Marines constantly if I'm also trying to still make SCVs and command centers and, you know, our macro element. We have to pick and choose our choices. I do not have infinite amounts of money. So if we're already tapped out on 2 racks, 1 factory, and 1 starport, and 2 command centers currently, we can't add on engineering bays until this base is fully saturated, rather than making engineering bays when this base only has like 5 SCVs on it, which is when the first void ray showed up. Or like when it has like 2 SCVs on it, when it just finished. Like, we can't afford all of that. So I would rather you make Marines, and the reason why I would rather you make Marines is because if you make turrets, what if you make like 3 turrets right there? Because you're like, oh my god, he's got void rays there. And what if he flies all of his void rays like this on the side of the map, and he goes right here? And you're like, ah, shit, I only got 4 Marines, and I got 4 turrets over here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Or what if you put 1 turret, 1 turret, 1 turret, 1 turret, and now suddenly his void rays can his 4 void rays can engage your 4 turrets. 4 void rays versus 1 turret. Turret dies. 4 void rays versus 1 turret. Turret dies. 4 void rays versus 1 turret. Turret dies. Their static defense, they need to really be methodically placed and used if you're going to make them. And I would rather you just make Marines. For now. For now. It seems logical, but it actually dips into your economy so fucking hard if you rush things like that way too fast. Just make units. Just fucking make Marines. It does the same thing turrets do, but it's better because they can move around. Okay, and like, look at this, right? Look at the macro. We are out macroing him. Again, it's the answer. This guy's flying now to the right side. Before he was sitting over here. Now he's going to the main base. And what do? We A-move him. I don't micro a single thing. And what happens? His void rays get fucked up. One of them almost dies, and another one gets softened up a little bit. Now he has 5 void rays. Sure. We lost no units. He lost no units, but we softened his units up. So it means they're going to die even faster again next time they fight, and so on and so on. Now he's doing it again. He's coming in for another attack. Or there we go. And now look at this, right? Now look at the supply difference. It keeps growing in our favor. We keep increasing the supply difference between the 2 of us. And the reason why is because we're able to produce more shit faster. Because look at his natural. It's got a couple probes on it. And look at my natural. It's oversaturated, which means we're already fully saturated. Our base is mining so much more income than our opponent. Which means we're going to outproduce him as long as we don't, you know, die right now. Which it doesn't look like we're going to die because I have a good army. I have a good army. We just kept producing. We didn't tunnel vision the situation here and stop making units and try to only micro the units we had. We just kept making units, and even though in units lost, he's lost 2, I've lost 7. It almost evens out in terms of losses. We're still, the game isn't close though. We're still crushing him by almost doubling his supply. Not quite, but almost. And there you go. We did a little bit more. We peppered on a little bit more damage again to his actual void ray. And the thing about a void ray is the shields regenerate, but the hit points don't. So the more we soften up these voids, it's permanent damage, and it's easier to kill them in the future. Now here we go. Here comes another fight. And by now, also check this out. So every fight before, we didn't have stim pack. Now we do. And it changes everything dramatically. Look at this next fight when he pushes into us. When we can respond with stim pack. Check this fight out. So now we stim pack, And he's trying to fly away, right? He's flying away. And look at this. We just fucking pound his army right there. And we knock out 2 of those Void Rays that were previously weak. And now look at the supply. The lead is dramatic. We're getting up there, right? And now that we have a good army, we feel confident that we're not going to die. Am I worried about attacking this right away? No, I don't care. I know that I'm outproducing him if I just sit here macroing because we expanded and he opened up with a 1 base timing attack. So we know we're outproducing him. That's a fact. I haven't lost my entire mineral line because I made SCVs and Cyclones and I ran around and defended myself. But now that I know I have a decent position here and I have a nice, well-rounded amount of units, just 1 drop. Just 1. Stim pack's done. We still got some medevacs. We still got Cyclones here. We still got a lot of Marines. We're still pumping units as much as possible. We're actually missing a beat here for a second. But yeah, you get the point. We're supposed to be pumping units. There we go. And yeah, we're like same. It goes back into the same situation was before. We can outproduce him while we sit here defensively and wait for him to engage us. It's all good. Eventually, we will attack him. It's not like we're going to sit here forever and never move out. But why move out? If we're going to hit 200 supply faster than he is, why move out before that? It doesn't make any sense. Because if we have our build that is macro focused, which has upgrades, which has more upgrades, which has, again, upgrades, it has more diversified units. All these things are developing our army at a higher pace. Our opponent's going for just basic Void Rays. He does have a weapon upgrade, but there's no fleet beacon, which means he's not going to be going into... And do I know there's a fleet beacon or not? It's not a big deal. The thing is we know he has less money than us, so even if he did make a fleet beacon, he would have less Void Rays because of that. Again, this is the whole concept I'm trying to explain here. This is, again, the hardest thing to teach people in lower league. You have a limited amount of resources in StarCraft 2.
You take a calm, measured response to Chaoscraft.
I do. Thank you very much, Dorito Dustin. I appreciate the bits, dude. And this is why. I mean, this is exactly what I'm explaining right now. If my opponent is going to play a style that is weak on the economy side and then random anywhere else, it does not matter what it is. If it's weak on the economy side, if I play defensive and strong on the economy side, I know that every second that goes by, he makes, for every 10 resources he makes, I make 20. He makes 10, I make 20. He makes 10, I make 20. He makes 10, I make 20. Well, guess what? 3 minutes go by where he makes 10 and I make 20, where I'm doubling his economy because I know I'm out producing him with macro. That's a lot of that adds up, and suddenly at 3 minutes later, after that has happened now, where the builds have deviated, one person is doing economy and the other one's not really doing it. Now, at this point, 3 minutes later, in total, I've mined something like 12,000 resources, and my opponent has only mined like 7,000 or like 8,000. And how am I getting that? How am I getting those numbers? People are like, Ryan, can you do fucking math? 7 or 8 is not half of 12. Yes, I know that, but I didn't start at double. He didn't start at 6 probes, and I didn't start at 12 SCVs. We both started at 12. The build deviated later on in the game, where once he had 1 base saturated, he stopped making probes for a while, and then eventually went back to it, and it's still not full saturated even now, and we never stopped making SCVs. So we both were like going up for a while, and then he kind of plateaued, and I kept going up. So yes, I'm not doubling his entire amount, but I am doubling his current investment at that moment in the game. Where if I have a fully saturated natural and his natural has like 1 probe on it, for those seconds, I am definitely getting a lot more than him over time. I hope that makes sense. But because we understand that concept, we know we have a higher supply. And if I know I have a higher supply, why am I worried about anything? What is there to panic about? I don't need to give a shit. I don't need to worry. I don't need to care. I can just sit here and let him kill himself by waiting and waiting. Like, the ball's in his court. He needs to make something happen. And if he doesn't, we're just going to run away with the game. That's really all it comes down to. And that's what we're doing right now. We're running away with the game, which is why we're, again, at 130 supply versus like a 70 supply player. We're crushing supply right now. And then our 1 drop, again, it's not the biggest of investments. It's not the biggest investment, but we just confirmed there are no bases on the left side of the map. So what do? We just dropped the base that is now... We eventually made it to the main base, and now we'll just drop the main base. It's all good. Currently, Void Ray is getting zoned out by my attack in his... Or, sorry, by my army defensively. His army got zoned out. And now our drop is in his base. And now watch the economy, guys. Look at the economy. And now, again, what we're doing in Platinum League is we're going to always go back to our drops. We're going to take a moment, go back to our drop, and just go, okay, Marines are out. They're good to go. Let's stim pack. Let's run to the middle of the mineral line. And let's just move in the middle of the mineral line. Let's make sure that our opponent either runs his workers away like this, or if he doesn't run away, let's say he like barely runs to the other side, like puts them on the gas or something, we don't just sit here AFK. We actually get an optimal area in the middle, so we'll kill anything that's still mining resources, no matter what, if we're in the middle. But we don't drop in the middle, because if we drop in the middle, he could just...
Got 99 problems and Void Ray isn't one.
Thank you, Chogler. Much love, dude. We still don't want to drop in the middle, though, because if we drop in the middle and he A-moves his probes onto me, his probes might actually kill some of my Marines as they're dropping. Like there's a chance. Like, it's not the most efficient thing to do. It's not. So we drop the side, and then we stim pack and go forward. Okay, now look at the economy, right? Look at that economy, guys. Crushing the economy. Super, super, super valuable for us. And here's another logical thing to think about. Our opponent has stopped attacking us with Void Race. He has stopped attacking us with Void Race. And he's currently defending his base with nothing. So logically, what would you think is happening? You'd probably think that the Protoss player is currently sending his Void Race home. Yes, he could. Someone out there is going to be like, why didn't he recall? Well, he probably panicked. It's okay. People do it. People make mistakes all the time. It's fine. That's good, right? It's good when your opponents make a mistake. But the fact that he's not attacking me anymore and has not attacked me for the last like 30 seconds after I've been dropping him, and his Void Rays are MIA, most likely the Void Rays are going home. So what can we do? We can just get our army set up and we can go break down this base. That is one logical way to think about this. Another logical way to think about this is our third base is ready to go. And this base is currently at the base I want to take my third at. Yes, I could take my third here as well. That's also fine. If you did that in your own game, I would say there's nothing wrong with that. But there's two reasons why I broke this right now. One is because of the third. The other is because his Void Rays are most likely defending the base, which means they're not aggressive anymore, which means I can kill his whole proxy setup for free. Easy peasy. And even if he was here defensively, I would run his ass over with this much supply advantage. 100%. Marines and Cyclones and Thor, almost doubling supply of Protoss. Yeah. We'd run his ass over. No problem. Okay. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize I did not realize I made Vikings. But I'm not gonna. It's not a big deal. If you make a couple medevacs and you make a couple Vikings, that's also fine. Vikings are good against air units. That's not a big deal. I'm okay with it. I didn't realize I made them though. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I made all medevacs, but it's all good. You definitely need some medevacs though, because you don't want to make only Viking and then every time you stim, you never heal your Marines. You do not want that to happen. You need some medevacs. It's mandatory. Okay, so now his proxy dies. And now again, this once again gives us control. So we can drop again. So in a second here, we can load up our medevacs and we can drop two sides of the map now. There you go. Everything else behind this is still the same. Our timer of Max is very thrown off now because he was very aggressive. So it kind of fucked the game up a bit. But yeah, the drops go out. We're sending Marine medevac out across the map. And we find bases. Now we drop here. And as soon as our drop is here, what do? We stim pack when our Marines are out. So what you want to do, if you don't, here's the thing, right? Let me show you. Let me show you exactly how this could be. I am not telling you. Make sure you do this, okay? Make sure you understand this concept. I am not telling you to do this. I am not telling you to drop the mineral line and then stare at it. I don't want you to just go, okay, I'm dropping the mineral line. All right, now stare at it the whole time. And now let's stim pack. I do not want you to do that. Do not do that. What I want you to do is I want you to do this instead. This is so much better if you do it this way instead. You're watching the mini-map right now, and you go, oh, cool. My medevac is currently ready to drop a base. Okay, drop the base. Stop looking at it. Count to like 3 seconds in your head and do things that are important. Send your command center to another base. Make SCVs. Make depots. Make upgrades. Get fucking add-ons on your buildings. Make a round of units in all your buildings. Do all these things that are important. And literally thinking like 1, 2, 3. So now, after we drop, and let's go macro, 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 macro. Okay, it's been about 3 seconds. Go back. Stim pack. Do your thing. Just give it like 3 or 4 seconds. Once you initiate the command, medevac, go drop right there. Give it a couple seconds. Macro in the meantime. Do not stare at the medevac and just like watch it drop Marines one at a time. Because what happens is if you do that, is you're not fucking macroing. You need to learn how to multitask. So if we tell our dropship to drop Marines, it's going to be doing that task for the next few seconds. We can't do anything about that either. Just staring at it doesn't make it go faster. So it'd be like, it's like the difference of saying, I'm going to microwave something in the microwave for 1 minute and then come back and do something else in the meantime. Or I could just microwave something for a minute and just stare at the microwave and watch the timer count down. I mean, you could be more efficient than just staring at the thing that's going to... It's not going to go faster if you stare at it. Same thing if you watch a pot of water and you try to boil the water. If you just stare at it, you could be doing so much other shit right there than just staring at the pot of water. Blah, blah, blah. You get the point. Just don't put aluminum foil in the microwave and then turn it on and then walk away because you can start a fire. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it does make sense to watch it because you don't want to cause a fire. But no, you get the point. Just don't stare at it. It's such a waste of time to just go, huh? Watch the medevac. Same thing with the main base. I dropped it. I didn't stare at it the whole time. I wasn't microing it the whole time. It's all good. We come back after the drop is down in the base, like a few seconds later, and then we say, Marines, now stim pack. And now look at this drop, right? This drop is doing amazing. Am I microing this drop? No. I just pre-fight microed it. I let it drop. I grabbed the Marines. I moved them into the middle, and then I A-moved. And all the probes died that were here, and then the Nexus happened to die right after. Same thing over here with this drop. They dropped the mineral line, moved to the middle, stim packed, and they killed some probes, but the Void Rays killed them. So they didn't kill everything. But like right there, that just fucked the Protoss. This made the Protoss almost, like this situation is now almost unwinnable. Very, 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 very hard for the Protoss to win here.
Mineral field. Ready.
Super hard.
Additional supply.
Okay. And now we're just still macroing, right? We're macroing everything behind this. We get our army ready to move out. And because of our drops, we also know where the Protoss's bases are. We tell our authorities to go on high impact payload. And now finally what we want to do is we know his army is, or his base is here, so we want to scan it. And like because we want to attack this base, you know what we could have done as well? We ended up seeing his army here, and there was a base there, which means we go attack this base from there and there. But because if this was the last base, what we could do is we could have half my army go like right here and half my army go like right here. And what this does is it creates a situation where half our army will go from here down and use this as the surface area engagement. And if half our army is like up here, it will go down and use this as surface area engagement. It increases the chance that we're going to do a lot of fucking damage because our army is not so stacked anymore. It's not so clumped up, which means a lot of our Marines in the front line that start shooting don't block the Marines behind them. They have to wait to start shooting until the Marines in the front die.
Mineral field upgrade add-on complete. Mineral field depleted.
So we saw him here. So we split up our army this way and this way. We go there and there because he's here and he's expanding. We just scanned it. We saw him go that way and we go, cool. Let's now take the fight. And this is what the fight looks like, right? Half army engages on both sides. And now look at this. We get in the front and we get behind him. It's a full-on flank. Did I set that up? Like, did I micro that? No. Did I pre-fight micro that? So I wasn't microing during the fight? Yes. All I did was I confirmed what base we want to attack, and I went for 2 entrances to this location, there and over here, and then we attacked down to here. Now, this is tricky and important to make sure you understand this concept as well. Imagine if my army is right here, okay? Or don't imagine, just know where it is, because we'll show you. So let's go back to where I had my army set up. So my army is split like this, okay? My army is split like this. Now, I want you to imagine lines connected to a box. Okay? And what that means is, if I A-move right here, I want you to draw a direct line to both clumps of my army. Draw a line to this one, like from this box right here. So we'll just say, we'll say just do the nexus, okay? We'll use an object that is actually on the screen because every time I move the scammer around, it loses my green box. We'll use the nexus. If I say, hey, Bio, attack that Nexus. Okay? Attack the Nexus. This is what'll happen. Imagine if there was a straight line that went like this. One line to there, to that clump, and another line way up to here, to that clump. Now, the way AI works in StarCraft 2 is units will go the least amount of travel time to a location. So, if this army is going to go attack towards this Nexus, what way are they going to take? Obviously, they're going to go straight down and to the left. They're going to go right there, right to that Nexus, because this is much faster right there than going like this. That's how AI works in StarCraft. It makes what it thinks is the fastest route. I was about to say route or course of action, but it came out as rort. It takes the fastest route to the location. So this would be easy. If I went to the Nexus with this army, it would go right there. Easy peasy. But if this army up here is going to go to that Nexus, I don't honestly know. If you make a line that goes there, so this army might have some of the units on the bottom go down and around. Some of the units on the top might go up and around. They might not split very well. It might be really stupid how these units split, and you don't want that to happen. So how can you fix that? Instead of A-moving an area where one of your armies is going to get fucking weird about how the AI works with where the ramps are located, what if I told my army to instead A-move right there? You know what's going to happen then? The army on the right is going to still swing past this Nexus and kill this Nexus. And the army on the left is going to swing over to the left and get over to the left side of the Nexus. This makes us able to flank the area. So it's going to give us a much better engagement, right? And that's, we'll back it up one more time and just show you that's again the result, right? Here it is. And you can see again the overall flank maneuver here. Because again, what A move does, what A move does is it tells your units to attack to an area, and anything that is aggressive in the area, it latches onto them and it like goes towards them and starts shooting it. So my army that goes over here is not going to just ignore the Colossus and the Void Ray. If they're within range, those Marines over here are going to now go behind them and start shooting like a second concave behind both sides of the army and start aggroing them to shoot them. So definitely worthwhile. And then once you take a fight like that, if you crush your opponent's army, you could then be fast about moving to the next base and the next base and the next base. All G. So now again, the final thing to wrap this up. In Platinum now, we're going to initiate with pre-spreads. And then after we initiate, we can follow the same maneuvers we were going with before, which is moving base to base to base. And just knocking out base after base. We don't have to do that on every base, especially if we just want to fight. We just want to do it for the initiation of a fight. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I have someone in chat saying, geez, Vibe, you're progressing very slow in this series. You just explained the same thing yesterday. You're not wrong, Phronesis, whatever the fuck you say your name. You're not wrong. But you see, I did Protoss yesterday. And this is Terran. And I don't expect my Terran viewers to watch the Protoss series to learn shit. So I'm going to talk a lot about the same shit I talked about yesterday. Prepare yourself. It's going to keep happening. Because this is Terran. I refrained myself from talking shit to you. Because I'm nice. I'm trying to be nice.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, we're going to stack our close patches. Like a boss. Like a boss. Try to stack those patches, get that extra money. Let's go ahead and make our depot. What race is this? This is Zerg. Okay.
Not enough minerals.
Burr, 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 burr. All right. Stack our patches. I'm only talking responding to me. What's up, Gecko? I saw you talking shit as well earlier. You always talk shit every day you come into the stream. You're lucky I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Famous, thank you for the 35.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's get our SV down to our natural. And get ready to expand. Same shit.
Move it. What's going on? This better be good.
All right, I'm not gonna go into a heated discussion about. I still want to talk to chat, right? I still want to be able to talk to chat, and this guy's massively disagreeing with how I make a B2GM series. And instead of getting into a big heated debate with you, I would say this: Francis, if you want to upstage my B2GM series, I challenge you to make a series better than mine. Go for it. Go ham, dude. Go make a series that everyone will love. And if people love it, I'll be like, props, good job, way to be productive. It's much more better use of your time than complaining about my series the entire time. All right, so guys, we have our build getting set up, right? Our opponent expanded, so we're not going to worry about a bunker. We're all good on that front. We're going to go ahead and make a depot.
Add-on complete.
Okay, we got another barracks coming. Let's get another gas going now. Because again, fully saturated and also factory's done. Good timing.
Add-on complete.
Start making our tanks.
Not enough. Command center upgrade complete.
What APM do you play at in Plat? Honestly, I don't know. Not very fast. I'm not really trying to play at a specific APM. I'm just trying to play slow. I'm trying to play something that I feel like you can follow along throughout the leagues. I'm trying to make it not unrealistic. I'm not trying to play at 300 APM in fucking Platinum League. But you guys gotta realize APM is gonna get inflated if you understand how to macro and hold the fucking button down. Like, I'm dead serious. The process of doing this right here. Look at my APM. Watch my APM. Do you see it? Watch it. Going like this means you're better at APM. You see that? I just played at 200 APM for fucking holding one key on the keyboard down. It's because of the repeat delay and how we set up in the intro to B2GM series. If you know how to hit the button, say make units, and you constantly do it, it's going to make your APM go up like crazy. I wouldn't worry too much about the APM. Yeah, it's fun to think about, but it's not the biggest concern. The biggest concern is understanding that you know how to play the style like properly. But yeah, I'm just trying to play slow. It will probably average around like 110 right now or something. I don't know. 100-ish. 120, 110. Maybe less. I'm trying to fucking play slow. Okay, so we're going to set up our tank, siege that bad boy, make our units.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Oblivinix, for the support, dude. Much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is this dude doing with his drones? He's probably uncomfortable. He's probably like just making simple mistakes here and there unintentionally. People do it all the time. This is super normal for Platinum, even. Like I said before, Platinum is another league again where people don't play efficient. And if you can understand that you need to play efficient more than anything else, you advance so much faster than thinking about all the little things, because efficiency is the big thing you gotta really understand to have results. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a couple engineering bays to start our upgrades, because we have our gas going now, so we're good on that. Let's get our orbital command. And now our mineral line's getting oversaturated. So let's go ahead and also add on a couple more racks to our build, because we're gonna oversupply. We're gonna just run out of. We're gonna have way too much money otherwise, right? We're gonna have way too much money because we're about to explode our economy even further with the third base getting highly saturated on the middle line right away, super fast.
Command center upgrade complete.
I remember you talking about slowing your speed for bronze. Guys, I'm just gonna give you a disclaimer alert. I'm gonna be slowing my speed down every league until Masters League. I'm not going to be trying to play fast at all until we get to Masters. Because again, if I was playing fast, it would not make any sense for you to learn from that because it's confusing at that point. So all we're doing right now, again, is we're just macroing our economy up, all that stuff. Get our upgrades going. Keep making our Marines. Keep making our SCVs. We can drop around to mules. Make some reactors on our racks. We can start an armory.
Not enough. Additional.
Also make another depot somewhere, wherever. It doesn't really matter. Make more depots over here or something.
You scared me.
Additional supply depots required.
Okay, let's do a drop and another drop. This guy's not being aggressive at all. It's all good. Let's go scout him now.
Waiting on you. In the pipe.
Additional supply depots.
Drop some more mules. We can make a couple more depots so we don't supply block. And look at our mineral line, right? It's fully saturated. So let's go ahead and build a command center.
Oh, yeah.
Research complete.
We're starting to make Thors now as well. Get a couple more depots again. This base is also pretty well saturated, so let's go ahead and drop some SCVs, or Jesus, some refineries here. Okay, this base, let's go ahead and drop our medevac here in this mineral line. Let's drop our other medevac here in this mineral line. And stim pack. Okay, we can't. It's dead, right? And now over here, we'll stim pack. Okay, this drop is doing a lot. And yes, I know Terran players out there, you're probably thinking to yourself, Vibe, why did you drop the mineral line? Even though you saw units there. That's not the point. Right now, it's not the point. Just fucking do it. Because you know what it did? It created a gap for me to do damage there. That's what it really did. And understanding how to multi-prong is something we're going to do more as Terran as we go. And later on, we'll definitely start doing things like utilizing our drops better. That'll definitely happen. But for now, it's not the important part. Just do the drops. Because now we got two things out of that. One is we did damage, and the second thing is we also scouted he's going ground. I know he's going Ling Bane now, with like a guarantee. Okay, let's drop our command center down here and make a planetary. We can make another command center while we're at it.
Mineral field depleted.
Keep making SCVs. Let's go and throw down some more racks while we're at it again. Wherever I can fit it in my base. Our base is getting kind of tight here. And we're almost maxed out, right? We're getting super close to maxing out. Make a couple more depots. Like another racks too. Because again, our money's kind of high. Or it was kind of high until we just made more racks a second ago. There we go. Good shit. Okay, now he's attacking us. Let's go ahead and stim pack towards that. Hey, move the area. Okay, let's go ahead and repair that command center. Drop some mules. And we can re-rally the command centers here to make SCVs with. Okay, if we can't land there, guys, you know what that means? Something's burrowed there. So you know what we can do now? Is we can go ahead over there and we can scan it and kill the burrowed thing. If you can't land something, it means something's burrowed. There's an invisible unit there. A cloak unit is there. Okay, let's go ahead and start 2-2. Get Thor upgrades. Get some more, get some more reactors on our racks. Keep making Thors. Keep making Marines. Keep making all our units. Transfer over some SCVs that are oversaturated. And look at this base, right? It's almost fixed already. We can take another planetary over here. Make another depot. Or we're good on depots. We don't gotta worry about that. Now check this out. What did our opponent just do? He just attacked our economy, right? So let's do this. Check this out. What if I just split my army up half and half?
3 Zerg, if I saw 6 CCs at 9 minutes, I'd cry.
Exactly. And you know what? Platinum Terrans can do this if they just focus on their macro and not their micro. I totally think it's doable. Thank you very much, though, for the bits. Summilux. Okay, we're maxed out, guys. So now let's move out. Let's get our army going. We'll attack this base right here on the left side first. Because, again, that was the last base we saw that was the most exposed base. Let's also, while we're doing this, take another starport, another factory, some more racks. Shift, right-click the mineral line. Make a couple more racks in here. Shift, right-click the mineral line. And I think we're probably good now. Let's go ahead and grab all these buildings that we just made and add them into our control group. And now we're at 20. So, yes, we're definitely good. Okay, grab our army. Since he's here, we just stim pack A-move it. It's all good. Like, he was there. And if he takes a fight against us, now we just go like this again. A-move, shift A-move, shift A-move, shift A-move. The fight happened. So it's happened. It's already over now. The fight is now done. So now we don't have to worry about the whole
Going on? We could use some help here.
pre-micro split thing anymore because it already happened. We happened to walk into him and things died. Okay, now let's go ahead and go into a tech lab. Let's go into a reactor. Tech lab factory, reactor starport. Let's make like 4 tech lab racks over here.
Command center
And then make
upgrade.
more
The
reactor
concept of
racks.
building blocks of learning is critical when learning anything, not just StarCraft.
Make Thors, make Marauders, Marines,
Mineral
Medevacs.
field depleted.
And yeah, I agree with you, Brambleshire. Thank you very much for the 5, dude. It's about definitely not overwhelming the player base, right? You don't want to overwhelm everybody. Okay, now let's go ahead and expand
Upgrade
again.
complete.
Let's go ahead and expand again. Okay, our army killed this base, so now let's hit the next base. We can A move here. We can literally do 2 things. We can either A move this base or this base. We'll just do this base. A move, shift A move, stim pack. It's all G.
Ready for dust off.
Add-on
Keep remaxing. Make our upgrades. Make our upgrades. Make some Thor if we can. Make some medevacs if we can. We're just maxed. We can drop our round. Remember how we talked about mules? Let's do a mule hammer. Hit 5, hit hockey for mule, hold shift, hold T for a second, let go. And we just mule hammered the crap out of this base. And you can do it super fast. And now we have a bunch of mules that have just spread themselves out and mine that base. Give us a ton of money. Again, it's just something we can do fast. Don't think about it too hard. And just go for it. Now, disclaimer alert. Disclaimer alert.
Ready for dust off.
Again, this is platinum level Terran, right?
mineral
There is a thing about a mule where if you drop it on a patch correctly, it will barely turn in minerals before it expires. And if you don't drop a mule on a patch correctly and instead you stack a patch and mules spread themselves out over time because they all hit this patch first and some of them like run over here, there's a higher chance that these mules are now going to mine minerals in their hand and die with minerals in their hand, or they're going to be on the patch and they're going to die before they get the minerals in their hand. There's a chance they're going to miss 1 round of turn in. But if it takes you 8 seconds to drop 8 mules on 8 patches, where it's like mule, 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 mule. If that's how long it takes you to just fucking drop your mules, it's not worth your time. You're better off just fucking going, get off of it right away. Literally hold the rapid fire key down for like just 1 second. Do not hold the rapid fire key down forever. Just count to 1 in your head. Go like this. 5S or 5 mule, hold shift, rapid fire. 1. Stop holding rapid fire. Let go of everything. Go back to doing other tasks. And you'll see like a group of mules go and land on it. And it will be probably somewhere between like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mules on average. Again, assuming you have rapid fire set up the way we have it set up. And you'll start to feel it as well. You'll start to feel how fast this can repeat once you do it enough. Like, for instance, if I wanted to say, again, you can use any key on the keyboard to just guess, like to use the keyboard repeat delay. But if I said, I want to hit 12 Zs right now, how good am I at doing this? Okay, how many did we hit right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How did I do that? I did it because I'm used to it. Is it always going to be 12 every time? Not necessarily. That was just fucking lucky right there that I hit 12. Sometimes it might be 14. Sometimes it might be 10. Sometimes it might be 11. Sometimes it might be 13. But I'm always going to be in the area of 12 because I understand how it feels to hit 12. I'm not going to hold it down for 4 seconds and go, is that 12? No, 4 seconds is probably more like 70 or some shit. So you get the point of, like, you'll get more comfortable with it as you go. And again, the point you want to make here is you want to put down mules here. That is either between 1 or 8 ideally.
Thank you so much for the Gnarly series vibe. If you are open to it, I would love your general thoughts on the core. Much love, meow.
I don't use it. I can't really talk about it. I have no experience with it. I think it's fine. I know a lot of people say they like it, but since I have not used it, I can't really give you my opinion on if I think it's good or not, or like how you should optimize it. Because again, I've literally never used it once. And anyone who doesn't know what the core is, there was, I believe, I hope I don't get this wrong. I should know this, but there was a guy named Jack Attack who is a content creator as well, and he made a hotkey setup called the core, and it makes you basically put your hands in like the middle of the keyboard instead of using the side of the keyboard. And I'm not a fan of it because I locate my hand off the keyboard without looking at the keyboard based off my pinky, hovering over tab, shift, control, that area. I hold the side of the keyboard with my pinky. It's like a point of reference. So I don't like the core. for me personally, but I think it's fine for you to do it if you like it. That's it. I have no negative things to say about it. I just never got used to using it myself, and I never wanted to use it. I liked my own setup. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So we pushed in, guys. Again, the last thing we were going to say is our Zerg opponent took a fight against us, right? Right here. He pushed us. Even though he was trying to do damage throughout the game, he was like bailing, busting my third base and shit like that. We lost a bunch of SCVs. It's all good. We're still holding a nice economy overall. Zerg is definitely crushing economy. He's doing a super good job. He has 89 drones after losing 10. But he's going for a style that is Lingbane Muta, which is a style that is very mobile focused. It's very weak, aggressive. Like, it's very not deathball-y. The style's the least A-move style you can go for. Despite what everyone says at pro level, where they're like, Lingbane Muta is fucking A-move. It's not actually true, guys, because the Lings and Banes, if you just sit there and wait, and wait, and wait, and you both max out, and then you A-move with Lingbane, that army actually sucks ass. And as you can see, we fucking roll it over pretty hard with this fight over here. And then when the fight happens... So he also is down in supply by like 25 to 30 supply. It's okay. But like, for instance, he's attacking with Lings and Mutas way before the Banelings are arriving. And he also has not enough Banelings. So he just gets steamrolled right here. And this fight goes very heavy into our favor. And then if you ever take a fight like that where your opponent takes a horrible engagement and they lose their army, again, like we said before, just A-move around their base. Quickly go kill bases now. Just quickly kill their bases. Don't try to like meticulously set up every fight on every base to be splitting. Just go because his army's dead. And if your army dies and now you need to re-engage the fight the next time, then you can do it again. The split thing. So again, we're only doing it for the initiation. We're not doing it for every base. Only the initiation. And yeah, hopefully that makes sense. That's again what we're doing now. We're stim packing our drops and we're pre-fight microing the initiation of the fight. Yo, Oblivion X, thank you very much for the 1,000 bits. Thank you, dude.
Thanks Vibe for B2GM. Can't wait for Diamond Zerg.
Yeah.
I've been stuck there for a very long time.
Hell yeah, dude. I got you, man. Thank you. Diamond will definitely be concepts about how to attack your opponent more than what we're talking about now. Like just splitting your army and attacking with initiation. That is the most basic shit ever for like learning how to actually break someone apart. A lot of players don't know how to do that kind of shit. They don't know how to think about how to attack their opponent. So we're going to go further with that once we get to Diamond League. So lots of micro stuff in Diamond League. While still maintaining good macro. Again, our macro is going to be at a point where it should be of par. Basically, it should be like good enough once we're in Diamond League. If your macro in Diamond League is like of the average of like Silver League,
Additional supply
in our videos we've been giving here, you probably need to work on that, right?
In the rear with the geek. Big job.
So macro is still priority first, number one, and then micro will become a secondary. But it is definitely going to become more of a focus in Diamond, and it's going to become the major focus in Masters.
SCV ready.
If you guys haven't noticed the trend, all we've been doing really up until the point of where we're at now, up until Platinum, all we've been doing is learning how to macro. That's why I say Bronze to Plat is like the beginner of StarCraft. It's like beginning stage of this game. It's learning the basics, because if you just ignore the basics and don't care about the basics and you don't do them, you'll feel like the game is way harder than it should be. Like you have to put in twice as much effort as your opponent if you play a micro game versus a macro game, and you won't understand why. You'll be like, why is this so hard? Why is my opponent always ahead of me? I always have to feel like I have to work so hard to come back in the lead. It's because you don't macro and you're putting yourself in the fucking behind. You're putting yourself into a hole every game because you don't macro. So it is going to feel harder because of that.
What's going on?
Let's go ahead and build our second Marine. Let's build our depot. Got our command center going up. Let's go ahead and start our next SCV and our
Command
orbital,
center upgrade.
or our factory, sorry. Let's go and start our factory right now.
Yep.
Start a reactor as well. And look, guys, this guy doesn't have an expansion. He's one base attacking us. Again, we're getting aggressively attacked again by Protoss, so now let's make a bunker, because this is very aggressive, once again. Grab this SCV, and this SCV, and tell them all to mine the natural, because they should all probably be done doing what they're doing by the time the natural's done. Bunker will be finished. We'll load up Marines into it. Can make camera hotkeys for our main and natural. That way we can bounce around easier. Again, don't forget, I click the camera of the base and I then bind it. Same thing here. I click the camera and I bind it. That way you're centered and it's not lopsided with like weird angle. Okay, make our orbital command. Keep getting SCVs and stuff. And if our opponent is playing a style that's super all in, like one base, and we don't know what's happening, just put a depot in like the fog of war of your base. That way you can see, oh, he's gonna attack me, and it's not. I'm not super surprised. So now we have the side of our base discovered. Like we're not having these dark fog spots in our base that just have no idea if he's gonna hit us or not. Like what if he has a prism over here? We have no fucking idea, right? But now because we have a depot there, now we do. It's like a alert. It's a warning that we're getting attacked. And the bunker is good enough for now to keep our front of our base alive. Meanwhile, we're going to have tanks reinforcing it. So now we have one more fog spot in our base, I would say. Let's put another depot like right there. That way we can see another possible attack hitting our base from this side too. So now every entrance into our base is spotted by some type of vision. Okay. Let's get our units going, get our Marines, get our tech lab on our other barracks, get our tank again. Get our first tank sieged on the high ground. And let's build our star... Or actually, we can't build a starport yet. Our gas is a little funky. It's okay. Just go back to mining for now. And also, we didn't rally our barracks. Or our command center. I have SCVs just chilling so long. Okay, now we should have enough to build our starport. So let's go ahead and do that. 100 for starport. So I was looking at my resources, right? And that's how I knew that. Okay, we're just, yeah, we're bouncing on our bases. Macroing. Let's go ahead and build another depot. Now that our base is good, let's build depots here. And this guy's currently attacking us with a lot of stalkers. Okay, let's bring some SCVs forward and let's start repairing this bunker. Okay, and this guy also just wants to attack us, right? So let's A-move the area. Grab my SCVs as well, just A-move them with the SCVs. It's fine. Keep making units, guys. Don't tunnel vision. Make a tank. Make everything. Tell my Marines to come back this way. SCVs can go back to mining now because it looks like we're fine. Okay, Marines can go back in the bunker. I can make a third command center. Make a reactor on that starport. He killed a couple of my depots. So let's try and build some depots again. Over here. We can build like 3 at once because we're supply blocked. Kind of sucks. Also, we don't want to be supply blocked for too long, so let's just drop like a call down supply on one of our active depots. Get our supply pumping again. We don't want to sit there doing nothing for too long. That wouldn't happen if we didn't lose our depots. Okay. And our third command center is going well. Stimpak's on the way. We're making Marines still. Let's go ahead and start our engineering bays and our gases at our natural because we're good on saturation.
Not enough minerals.
We're going to still make SCVs, but we're still good on saturation, so we're able to afford it now. Let's make another depot.
Not enough minerals.
Make a medevac.
Base.
We can rotate our other tank now down to the lower side. Don't put it in front of the ramp, though, like we talk about. Just put it like right there. It's fine. It's maybe a little bit close. We could also... You know what? Actually, unsiege it. That's a little bit close to the wall. We talk about not putting it near the wall. Let's get our Marines out of the way and put our tank like right here. Now it's not actually near the wall, and it's mostly out of the way of the ramp. It's not actually in front of the ramp like right there. You don't ever want to have a tank blocking the ramp like right there because then your units get stuck behind the tank, and it's really stupid.
What's going on?
Okay, let's get double upgrades. Let's get our orbital command going on this base. Let's get our armory going. And now let's go ahead and start like another like 2 or 3 racks. We'll start 3, whatever. Because we're, again, oversaturating the natural now. And our third base is about to come online. So we want to make sure we can actually saturate that properly. And like, or we're going to want to make sure we spend our money properly. Right now we only have 1 medevac, so let's just pick a side. Go one side or the other. It's all good.
Command center upgrade complete. Not
Okay, let's go ahead and take our third base. Drop a couple of depots wherever we want. Grab these barracks into our control group. Put them rallied to the front of our base. We can now lower the base because we're now going to start saturating the third, so we don't want our SCVs to get stuck in the main forever. And now we can transfer over some excess. You guys go down there. You guys go down there. When you're done building. Keep making units. Make our Thor upgrades. And look, we found a base, right? Drop it. Count to 3. Grab this army. A move down there. 1, 2, 3. Go back here. Stimpak. grab 3 more SCVs off this base and send them down here. Let's grab a couple more reactors here. Okay, he's attacking us with a big fat army. So let's go ahead and A move towards it and just stim pack because he's like already in my face. Okay, the upgrades are almost done. Let's go ahead and start another few racks. And maybe like another command center. Because we have a lot of money. Again, we want to spend our money, right? Once these bases come online and you drop a bunch of mules at them, your money just explodes as Terran. The mule dump. The mule hammer, it was, you might say. Okay, he's still making stalkers at my base, so let's A move that area and stim pack it again.
Add-on complete.
Grab a couple of CVs and put them on our gases. We can get a few more depots. We can also get upgrades for
Not
our
enough minerals.
2-2.
Mineral field. Not enough.
Now let's grab a couple of medevacs full of marines. Because again, we want to scout both sides of the map, and it's been a while since we've done anything. We should also probably start combat shield. So let's grab some bio, and let's put it in 2 medevacs. Group 1, go left.
Ready for dust off.
Check bases. Group 2, go right. Check bases. Again, this is so our opponent can't just be greedy as fuck and be like, I like to expand, and you never punish me. We want to definitely be active.
Mineral field.
Take another
Mineral
Thor.
field. Not enough.
And again, this is another example of our opponent being aggressive, so we're definitely under max. And that's okay. If that happens to you, that's fine.
Not enough.
If you take aggression, the game will be altered. It's okay. Let's take another base over here.
Unacceptable.
Like land our command center over there. Let's drop over like 16 SCVs because we're so grab a chunk. Because we're happy to do it. We have a lot of SCVs right now. We can take another command center like over here.
Get me out of this.
Okay.
Add-on.
That medevac's dead. This medevac is still going. Okay, let's go ahead and try and drop behind this mineral line. Okay, we're gonna keep making units. So, count to 3. Guys, dropping right now. 1, 2, 3. Go back to the base. Stim pack. Go to the middle of the mineral line. A move. Cool. Probes are coming to die. That's awesome, right? Nice. Sick. Super cool. Let's go and get rid of these mineral patches with an SCV. Just start mining them out slowly so we can just actually take that base properly.
Research.
Drop.
Complete.
Some mules at that base. Well, I really could have rapid fired it. It's all good. It's all good. I do want you to just not waste time. It's all about saving time is what it's all about.
Mineral field depleted.
Get a Thor upgrade. Fix my economy. Economy's good. Economy's good. Send them over here. This SCV count is maxed out. We're good on SCVs. We're 85. We're happy. We can now start adding in some more production again.
Mineral field
Grab another
depleted.
factory and a starport and like another racks and
Mineral
another racks.
field
It's all good.
depleted. Command center upgrade.
And we're just about to max out. Super close.
Ready for
Transfer
dust
some
off.
SCVs. We're good on every other base.
Upgrade complete.
Grab all these buildings we
Upgrade.
just made.
Mineral field depleted.
And yeah, we need 1 more barracks and we're good. Okay, make that a planetary. We can take another base as well while we're at it. And now let's take my army and let's move out because we are maxed out. So we can move up now. And let's go forward. Let's make our Thors go on high impact payload as well. Because high impact payload's good. It's super good. We can go and get we can get concussive shells for the Marauder, reactor for the starport, tech lab for the factory, 4 tech labs for the racks, all reactors for the rest of our racks that we're making. And now let's go ahead and scan like right here. Why did I do that? No base there. It looks like I can't really see it actually. We'll just go up here. Is there a base here? What's the answer? The answer is no. Okay, so look at the pathways, right? We can't go there, so we can go there or there. So if I want to initiate, let's do this. A move half of my army to like right there. Green box the other half of my army, and let's have it come like right here. You can tell some of our medevacs to go to here to help this army
Dropping off.
in this area.
Add-on
And now,
complete.
look at what we're gonna do, right? We're macroing in the meantime.
Complete.
Macro. Make upgrades. Make upgrades. Get smart servos, whatever. Now, I want to attack this base first. But I do not want this army to come back up, so I'm not going to attack over here. I'm going to attack like over here. That way both my armies go that way. So if I move there first, if I make a line to both my armies, they will both come from different angles and hit this base. Shift A move. Shift A move. I'm fighting the fight now. Stim pack. Go for it. Now go back to macroing in the meantime. Fix my economy.
Upgrade complete.
Make some marauders. Make some Thors.
Add-on
Make some
complete.
medevacs. Make a bunch of marines. We're maxed out. Transfer these SCVs to the base. Mine minerals properly. Base is good, base is good, base is good. Drop a mule hammer. 1 second. Boom, look at that. Just 1 second, guys. Super fast. Make it army. We're maxing like a madman right now. Our army is just constantly reproducing itself. It's constantly reinforcing itself. Make a planetary. Make another command center.
Ready for dust off.
And look at our army. We're already maxed again. Super fast max. Super duper fast maxola.
Unacceptable.
So now just wait for a second for our last round of bio to pop out of the barracks because we have a bunch of
Mineral field
supplies still in
depleted.
production.
Research complete.
Now let's do it again.
Mineral field
This time let's hit the left side of the map instead of the right side of the map.
Mineral field
So
depleted.
the last bit of barracks units are popping out like literally in about 2 seconds, 1 second. And there we go. So, okay, no, he's hitting us. He's hitting us. Okay, so get my army, move the area, and stim pack him. If he's hitting us first, whatever. I can't do anything about it. Go back to macroing. Make medevacs. Make Thors. Make Marauders. Make Marines. Make everything. Okay, he died. So, now let's just... Because he took a fight and died, now let's go ahead and move just like we did before. So we'll just move the left side of the map. We chose the left side, we'll do the left side. So now we're going to go all the way up to here and then up to here because it's the left side of the map. So get up here now. Move. Stim pack. Hold shift. Move. Call it good. Macro new units out. Fix economies when they oversaturate. Fix, 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 fix. GG. Fix this. Send them over here. Drop a mule hammer. 5S, mule, hold T, let go. Boom. I just made a bunch of mules, right? We just made 5 mules. Anywhere between, like I said, anywhere between 1 and 8 is fine. And if you rapid fire, most likely you're going to make more than 1. You're probably going to make like 3 or something at least. Because, again, it's rapid firing. Just 1 second. Hold it, let go of it. Like, hold it, let go. Hold it, let go. It's like literally like this. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Do it fast. That way you don't go like this. Mules for 1 base, and you go like that. And you're like, whoops, I just made like 22 mules for 1 base. Oh, dang it. A little bit excessive there. Also, there's a chance you're not going to have that much energy for mules, but you get the point. Just don't overdo it. Just 1 second and you're good to go. So, one other thing we're going to start doing as well, in general, when we get into points of the game like this, is once you get into a point, we're gonna start doing it from now on again in more games. We're gonna do it no matter what, but these games are just they're happening to end, so I'm not able to talk about it. But I'm gonna talk about it right now just because we haven't talked about it. We've kind of already talked about the other points repeatedly now to the points where I feel like you should know what our goal is in Platinum League to keep progressing as a player. But when we move out with our army, once we confirm that we're in the phase of attacking our opponent where it's legit just a move, like you're going base to base to base to base to base, when we're trying to just like capitalize on damage and rolling like the snowball effect. We're just making a snowball and we're just rolling it towards our opponent and it's becoming like a boulder that is just crushing our opponent. We're just trying to run him over with as much time as possible because we are trying to maximize our attack by not wasting time, right? Once we're in that phase where you don't need to, where you're not really like paying attention to your army anymore, what we're going to do is we're going to macro first, and when you're waiting because your macro is good to go, we're going to add in turrets to every base. So like 1 turret, 1 turret, 1 turret, 1 turret, 1 turret, turret, turret. We're going to do this in every matchup because this is going to help a lot at deal with random air units. It's going to help a lot at dealing with random cloaked units and just hopefully overall give us some control. And then finally what we're going to do is we're going to add in like 1 or 2 turrets based on the middle of where my rallies will go. So if my army is like rallying all over here, I could put a turret like right there, and I could put a turret like right here. And what that does for us is if my army is going to be chilling like right there, or if my army is going to be chilling like right there, or it's going to be chilling like right there, wherever my rally points are, my units have a higher chance now to kill shit. Like, let's say DTs are walking past my army. Well, if I have a turret where my army kind of chills out and my new remax happens, I can kill DTs much faster. I can actually accurately and actively kill the DTs a lot easier now. So, easy peasy. Easy peasy. Makes our life a lot easier. Now we can go back and look at our drops and shit just really fast. see what is going on for the games. So again, our opponent was doing like the stalker all in, right? He was one base stalking me for a while, then he eventually expanded. He's definitely he's caught up a bit. Protoss does make workers faster than Terran, so even though Protoss doesn't expand and goes for double gate aggression, and they expand later, they can actually catch back up to Terran because Chrono Boost makes probes faster than SCVs can just make by default. It's just the way the mechanic of the race works. But Terran can mine more minerals overall, even if they have the same worker count, because you have mules. So that it's the fact that we have a similar worker count is a good thing for Terran. If you have a big advantage of worker count, that's amazing for Terran. But if your worker count is ever equal to your opponent that is not a Terran player, you're doing great. That is good for Terran, because Terran makes workers the slowest out of all 3 races. So the fact that we still have a 4 worker lead is amazing right now. And then our opponent is kind of, you know, he's chilling, poking around, whatever. And our drop goes out. We find his 3rd base, which happened to be down here instead of up here, right? And this is nice. We do the drop. We come back a couple seconds later. We stim pack. Good shit. He's attacking our base again with those stalkers. You know, our army defended it. We were there earlier. We saw it. It's all good. Overall resources lost. We're doing a great job this game. Actually, I'll go back. We got to talk about that for a second. I don't want to just skip over that. So he attacked our base while our drop was hitting his 3rd. He decided to bring the stalkers over here and launch a counterattack, right? But look at the supply when he launches a counterattack. This is the result of us going for a fast expand and our opponent going for gateway pressure. The gateway pressure did not do enough damage to us early game when he ran around my natural.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that part of the game. And as a result, we've had the ability now to run away with the game more than our opponent has. So when he now blinks forward and gets aggressive here, it's not that intimidating. We just have too much stuff. And his army gets kind of mowed down. So, and then, you know, more units die over here as well. Well, a couple of our units died, he actually gets away. It's all good. Either way, the result is we're still maintaining a massive supply lead. And we're also maintaining a nice, juicy economy lead. Now, following up, our next 2 drops go out. It's a great time to initiate these drops after your opponent fails an attack, or when you have a blob of units and you just feel confident that you're not going to take damage, and you also need to now scout before you max to know where your opponent is located. So we scout. He does a really good job at having his stalkers in good locations to not allow this to do any damage. So the first drop gets there, does nothing. The second drop gets there. And remember how we talked about against the Zerg? What happened? Our opponent dealt with the first drop, and the second drop actually does something, right? A lot of times this will happen because your opponent is not going to multitask. We're not multitasking either because we're letting the drop die. So we're creating a multitask situation even though we're not actually multitasking. And now that our opponent is overly defended in the natural and exposed in the 3rd, well, this is fucking great because now, I mean, this drop now starts getting a couple probe kills. It kills a couple stalkers. Did that drop massively do a ton of damage? Definitely not. It didn't do a ton of damage, but it did a couple of good things, which was it did a little bit of damage, so it wasn't completely worthless. But even bigger than that, we confirmed where our opponent's bases are located, so it created a situation now where we know where we want to push in the future, and we know how to push. We know how to now initiate because we've confirmed where our opponent is located. We're not guessing anymore and walking into the middle of fog of war hoping we don't just make a bad choice. We have a good idea. We have a game plan now. Like, basically, here's an analogy for you. Imagine if you had, like, 4 guys that were going to rob a bank. And those 4 guys, they all went into the bank for, like, a couple of weeks previously. And it's like any good bank heist movie plot where they, like, learn the schedule of the employees. They try to find some place where, like, the bank is not well defended, where they're going to take advantage of it. They learn the layout of the bank so they know how they're going to walk in and do their thing, whatever they're going to do. They have this whole master plan for how they're going to set up an engagement, how they're going to set up the bank heist. Or you have a movie of like that's called 4 Drunk Idiots that do no research, and they all on a whim are drunk in a car, and they go to a gun store and buy fucking guns, and they're like, let's rob a bank. And they walk into the bank and they start shooting the ceiling like, give me the money. Those are 2 totally different movies, guys. Just like it's 2 totally different players. If you actually pay attention to where your opponent is located on the map versus you just move into fog of war and you hope for the best. You're much more likely to fuck things up if you don't actually know where you're fighting. You want to know the layout of the land before you take a fight. So these drops are giving us scouts of where he's expanded towards. We now have an idea of what we're dealing with. We understand. So now that we know what we're going to fight against, we get our army ready to go. We see he's got no base there, and now we can spread our army out. So we take half our army, go there, half our army comes down here. And again, if you do something like this, where this is like 2/3 of your army, and that's only like 1/3 of your army, not quite that great, but it's okay. We still spread our army out, and it's going to set up a fight. Now let's see what this fight looked like. What did this fight look like? Let's see. So here we go. Our army is now going to move into his base right now. And here, this part of my army is engaging first, right? But look at my opponent. He is fully focused on dealing with the top. Look at the bottom. It's completely exposed. Now, if we were fucking Masters or Diamond, I could run into his natural and run into his main base and kill his entire base. But obviously, we're not doing that yet. That's micro. We're not microing anything yet. We're macroing. And what we've done to him is we've created a situation where my army is going to engage multiple locations, and it's going to have a higher chance to get damage done overall. It also reduces the power of AoE units, because all my units aren't just stacked into a little ball. So the first army, I kill some zealots. It's actually doing something, right? I'm killing zealots. I'm not going to win this fight, but I am still trading units for units. But this army overall does die. Okay, so that was that army's fate, right? It just killed some zealots and it died. But now let's look at the other army. What does this army do in the meantime? What happens here with this army? I kill a battery. I kill a pylon. I'm killing probes like crazy. I'm killing a gateway. I'm killing more army. I'm killing another cannon. I'm killing battery, cannon, pylon. I'm killing more zealots. Overall, I did not do game-ending damage right there, but I definitely did do a good amount of damage, and I crippled him a little bit. I killed some economy. I killed a lot of his static D, and I traded army with army a bit. And as you can see the supply, we're still maintaining a good lead because I didn't over-micro this. I didn't stare at the micro situation. I macroed during it, so I'm going to remax very, very, very fast. And I would set up the next initial fight again the same way, unless he did that, right? So our opponent decides, after that fight happened and he won the fight, overall he won the fight, right? But just because you win the fight doesn't mean you're going to win the game. He won the fight, and now he has a confidence boost to now push my base. But I don't think he would realize, as he pushes our base, that he goes, what the fuck, you're already 200 supply again? I literally just killed your army right here. I just killed you right here. And I decided to attack you right after I killed you. I killed your last medevac, and then I just fucking go. I spend like maybe a few seconds. This is like 10 seconds now, like 12 seconds, 15 seconds. That was about 15 seconds, just 15 seconds, and he makes it around his zealots in those 15 seconds, and then he goes. 15 seconds is not a whole lot of time, right? But guess what? We haven't been macroing only for 15 seconds. We were macroing that entire fight. So when he moves out 15 seconds after my last unit died, I'm already maxed again. And we're ready to go. We're already ready for round 2. And when he gets to our base, again, now we don't have to split our army up anymore because we just happened to run into him. And I chose to attack the left side of the map. And why was that? Because I just attacked the right side. So now I'm going to the left side. I'm alternating. I'm rotating, so I kill expansions always. I don't want my opponent to have this base without me realizing it. He might have it. I don't fucking know. I haven't scouted there in a long time. So I want to definitely check that. Last time I scouted that was with my medevac. Because this army that ran this way, they ran on the high part, so they didn't actually see this base.
Thanks for the tutorial, Vibe.
Thank you, Tofu.
I was able to get to platinum with ease by following your tips. The game is way less stressful when I am only focusing on macro. Keep creating great content. The SC community needs this.
Yo, Tofu Master, thank you very much for the 10, man. And yeah, like, you only make the game harder for yourself if your macro sucks. That is a fact. So, like, there is a difference between playing in Silver League and in Gold League on hard mode or on easy mode. And on hard mode, it doesn't mean it's going to make you a better player. It just means you're playing inefficient and you're making your life harder for yourself. It would be like saying, what if you're trying to teach someone how to be a chef? And what if you're trying to teach someone how to cut fucking like a carrot? Well, what if you give someone how to cut a carrot? What if you give someone a knife that is really sharp? And what if you give another guy nothing and you tell him to use his fucking index finger only? They're both trying to do the same job, but one guy's job is way harder than the other, and it doesn't necessarily mean just because he's doing something that's harder that he's going to be a better chef in the end. It means he doesn't have the proper tools that he needs to do the job that he's trying to do. So learning how to macro is having the proper mindset of tools to play the game properly, which you fucking need to advance in this game. If you try to micro with crappy macro, you're just not giving yourself the tools to advance properly. It's just going to make your life harder. It just doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I mean, now our opponent pushes us, right? And now we don't have to worry about initiation because he's already fighting us. We just fucking go for it. The best thing we could do here would be right-click my army, the whole thing selected, and go right-click right there. And why would that make sense? Because what would happen is it would allow my army to create a big concave against him. Because if I just A-moved right now, if I just went right now, A-move, go. What could happen is these units right here might run all the way from right there to right here. And they might block the edge of this ramp. And now all the units behind these selected units, all these units back here, might get stuck running in circles behind my front line until the front line dies. And then finally the back line will take place of the front line. We don't want that. That's bad. So if I run a little bit further down or a little bit further to the left, that creates a moment where now all my units have the ability now to engage and no one has to stand in the back and wait and die. And if we run down here, we're not running into him and throwing units away. We're running away from his army, so he might shoot me with a couple stalkers, but his entire army is not engaging us. So it's very minimal damage to give us a maximum good engagement. Like, good engage. So notice how I ran down. Look at that. We ran down and then we attacked. I did not engage right away. I allowed my army to concave out more. Now notice how when I engage him, a lot more of my units are able to fight. And now we can A-move. And now I have no units that are going just like being stupid. I can't fight. Move. I can't move in. Wait till he dies. Then I'll fight. No, that's not happening to us. Our units are in a nice, juicy concave. And now the DPS of our army is like through the fucking roof. And zealots will just disappear in seconds. And then we can push forward into his army afterwards. And that is a nice concave. And now that we won the fight, now we don't got to worry about concave anymore. We don't got to worry about positioning anymore. We just got to go because we just wrecked our opponent's army and we go. But again, are we going to micro that? Are we microing that? No, we're not. We are macroing in the process. So as you can see in the macro, we are going to pump units like a boss. Or we're already maxed, so I can't pump units. We're already maxed. But I would have pumped units. We would have been holding down the A key and holding down the D key for Marauder, Thors, and Medevacs. Making lots of units. And it's just like a endurance match. Like who can outpace the other guy. That's really all it is. Alright, dude. Alright, let's go. Next game. We got a Terran player. Nice.
Do the mentally challenged walrus noise again.
SCV ready.
Alright, boys, let's stack those patches. Thank you very much for the bits, Mr. Plays Monster. Much love.
Bad news. Big job, huh? SCV ready.
Alright. Nice, nice. Stacking the close patches. We're looking good already.
What's going on?
Let's go ahead and keep doing it. Stack another patch.
Additional supply depot.
Nice. Make a barracks. Make a gas. Take one off of a far patch like that. And now don't disrupt the close patches if possible. Keep making SCVs for these patches.
SCV ready.
Tell this SCV to go to his base. That's building the barracks. Because again, it'll be our scout. We can also hotkey it right now if we want to.
SCV ready.
Stack a close patch. Alright, actually put it on the gas. Take another SCV off a far patch and put it on the gas.
SCV ready.
Keep stacking patches. Okay, that's all our focus is right now, really. And now look at the barracks. It's almost done. So it's rally the command center down to here. So our SCV pops out to build the command center. and then we'll build an orbital at the same time. So orbital, marine, really command center back to the mineral line. Get ready to build a command center with the SCV we just built out of the command center. And this SCV was already told to go scout his natural earlier. So build our command center.
Not enough minerals.
And now add this into a camera hotkey control group and also our group 5 for command center. We can take another SCV and build another depot. So we don't supply block. Let's make an SCV.
Command center
Let's drop a
upgrade
mule.
complete.
Scout his base. There's no expansion. He's walled off. Oh, no, he didn't. He actually fucked it up. Let's go ahead and build our factory.
Not enough.
Okay. We have double gas Terran 1 base, right? So it seems like it's going to be Reapers, guys. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's definitely going to be aggressive. So let's use our depot guy and let's make a bunker. Let's make a bunker. Let's make a reactor on our racks. Am I freaking out right now? Am I making 3 racks right now? Am I making multiple bunkers right now? No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It's fine. We definitely will react more appropriately, like more safe as we get higher in league. But for now, again, guys, we're platinum. As long as you produce units and you don't freak out, you'll still be a-okay 99% of the time. I can't say 100 because there is a chance you might die, but yeah. It's really really likely that you'll be okay if you just macro in these situations. So now we have a tech lab factory. We have a racks with a reactor. We can load up 2 Marines in that bunker. Remember what we do when our opponent is 1-basing us? Let's put a depot in the fog of war of my base. That way we can see where shit happens. Let's go ahead and make a tank.
Add-on
Let's go ahead and make 2 more Marines.
Not enough minerals. Not enough.
Drop a mule.
Command center upgrade complete.
Making SCVs. Let's drop a gas because our factory's done. We actually took this gas kind of late. It's okay. It's all good. And we're chilling, guys. Look at us. We're chilling. We are having a great time. Let's put another depot down here. It just started out there. This is a Reaper entrance into my base. This is a Reaper entrance into my base. I don't even know if he's going Reapers, though. Again, that was a guess, right? That was just a guess. Who fucking knows what he's doing exactly? Let's siege our tank right here. Nice position for that tank. All we know is that this guy, so far, is not being super efficient with his economy. That's the only thing we truly know without a doubt. Let's make another depot.
Complete.
Let's get stim pack upgrade. Actually, let's get another siege tank. What am I talking about? Let's get a tank.
Insufficient.
Units before
gas.
upgrades. I didn't realize we didn't have a tank started, so definitely make a tank. Make another depot. We don't want a supply block. Let's go ahead and make a reactor on that starport. Make units. Let's make another depot. We're getting really close to blocking. And like maybe even like
Not
another
enough
depot.
minerals.
Keep making units.
Not enough minerals.
Let's go ahead and start stim pack. Let's siege our tank on the side of our base. Like right here or something. It's all good. Get a couple gases at my natural now. Get a couple NG bays at my natural as well.
Complete.
Make Marines. Make medevacs.
Not enough minerals.
Make a tank in a second. Our gas is a little bit limited at the moment, so we gotta wait. Okay, we'll start a 3rd command center as well in just a second because we have the money for it. So we can start a 3rd command center
Not enough.
wherever. Put it there. It's fine. Take our gases. Take our gases. SCV's coming back to the middle line. Nice. Make another medevac. We can drop
Insufficient
8 Marines into one of his bases because we don't know what he's doing right now. We're super confused, right? So take our medevac and drop towards the right side. We'll go check the right side right now. It's all good. Let's go ahead and start a couple more barracks, like 2 more racks. Why is that? Because we're fully saturated already here. 3rd command center is on the way. My money's going up, and our money's going to explode when the 3rd goes down
Not enough minerals.
at the 3rd base. So, because look at this, we've been doing a great job making SCVs this game, so we're going to have a ton of money. Let's go ahead and drop a call down supply because we're about to supply block. Take another tank and siege it there.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Okay,
Not
let's drop the
enough
mineral line.
minerals.
Dropping off.
Drop that shit. 1, 2, 3. Go back.
Research
Stim pack. Go in the middle of the mineral line and a move. Call it a day. Let's go ahead and make this an orbital. Let's start making our armory.
SCV ready.
Make 2 more reactors for those 2 extra racks we just made. Make a couple more medevacs.
Insufficient Vespene
Keep making
gas.
SCVs. Make a couple more depots.
Not enough
Again, don't
minerals.
want a supply block. And now let's lift and land our 3rd base at our 3rd
Command
base.
center upgrade.
Rotate SCVs as well. We're over by a lot here. Grab a bunch. Oh, perfect. I grabbed perfect. Awesome. What if I grabbed too many and it was like that? I could be like, oh, we're 2 down. 1, 2. Right click the mineral line, shift off 2 SCVs, and then send the rest to the 3rd base. It's all G. Drop some mules at it.
Ready for dust off.
Add-on complete.
We can start making Thors as well now because we have an armory.
Not
We can get
enough
weapon upgrades for the Thor. We can start our gases, and we can also start another
Not
command center.
enough minerals. Not enough.
Grab another
energy.
command center. Our money is exploding like crazy right now, right? It's because our 3rd base just came online, fully online, like right away.
Not enough
Because we're
minerals.
making SCVs, stacking SCVs on the natural to then transfer them to the 3rd right away. Okay. Let's get a combat shield upgrade. Let's get 2-2.
Upgrade.
Keep making units off of 4 or 5. Let's get a couple more depots. Let's try to go for a double drop this time. Scout again. So 1, go on the left side of the map. 2, go on the right side of the map. Find out where this guy's bases are located. Transfer some SCVs to those gases. Grab 4, 1, 2. Put the other 2 on that one. Grab a couple more SCVs to, so grab a couple more SCVs again. If I grab a mule as well, I can just control click the SCVs. It's all good, so we don't deselect the mule. Or so we don't select the mule, rather. Okay. What happened over here? Okay, my medevac's almost dead, and it flew over this way, which means that was a widow mine, most likely. Do you have to know that, though? No, it's not a big deal. Okay, there's no... Oh, there is a base here. So, drop the back of the mineral line.
Stop.
Remember, 1, 2, 3. Let's go back. Cool. So, now let's go ahead and stim pack. A, move the middle of the middle line. This one died. Shit happens. It's dead. Let's go ahead and take another base. We can make a couple more barracks because again we're supply blocking, or we're our money's getting high again, so we definitely need some more production. SCV count currently is at 78. We're looking wonderful on that. Transfer over some SCVs. Land this command center. What's his army look like? What was that?
Upgrade.
Okay,
complete.
bio. Ground units. Cool. We can't land our command center. And yeah, there's the widow mine we were talking about. So now let's get my army over there, and let's go kill that fucking widow mine. It's annoying, right? Fucking widow mines. Ah, God. Ah, God, 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 God. Keep making SCVs. We need 2 more, and we're done. Let's make another starport,
Not enough.
another
minerals.
factory. And transfer all these SCVs over to this base as well. Scan this base to kill the widow mine, because that's why we sent our army over here. Let's land this into a planetary.
Ready for dust off.
This is at 20 already. So let's get ready to take our next base with this command center right here. Let's grab a couple excess SCVs over there, a couple of excess SCVs over here, put them on this base, and then lift and land this command center to this base.
Unacceptable.
We can build another command center while we're at it.
Upgrade.
Macro, macro,
complete.
macro, macro. Build all these racks we just made into reactors. Keep
Not
building
enough
units.
Minerals. Not enough minerals.
Hold rapid fire for like 1 second, let it go. Here we go. And we are maxed out. Our max out was a little bit late this game. It's okay though, it's not a big deal. Now let's go ahead and go set up for a fight. So we know he took a 3rd base, right? So let's use this as our first engagement. Let's do this as the priority, right? Let's send my army down to like right here first,
Add-on
the front of his base.
complete. Add-on.
Let's also get 3/3 upgrades. Let's get a tech lab on that factory and a reactor on that starport. Upgrade weapons on the armory. Hey, move my army all right there. Green box a chunk. Like try to grab half. If we grab as close to half as you can. And now I go, oh cool, this guy's got widow mines everywhere. He's also got a widow mine right there. I can't scan anymore. It's
Add-on
okay.
complete.
Now check this out. We want to hit the 3rd base, right? So let's hit here. Now this is confusing, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take my army, a
Mineral
move
field
here,
depleted.
and then a move, green box this only, a move there. Why? Because this army instead will run all the way around otherwise because there's a wall there. So take my army, a move, stim pack, green box, a move, good to go. We can also scan that fucking widow mine because it's annoying. Make a bunch of Marines. AI is stupid in this game, and if you don't fix it when it runs by a wall, it will run around the wall. That's why I always tell you to A-move like the front of the wall there instead of A-moving only the main base against Terran. Let's take another command center, add another base. Let's go ahead and build our production up. Keep macroing. We need another 7 buildings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sick. We just made all of our racks. And now we're at 20 production facilities. We just got to make them into tech labs and stuff when that's done. Now this army's done fighting, so now let's just tell it, because we won the fight, let's now not worry about it. A-move, shift A-move, shift A-move, stim pack. Go, 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 go. Fight's over, so now just go. Don't be methodical if you've already won the fight. Check our economies. It needs to be fixed. This one's good. Transfer some SUVs down here. Okay, bases are looking hunky-dory. Thank you for the bits, Chris. Thank you, man. Okay, we can take our army again one more time, and let's go ahead and stim pack it again, just to get shit going. Take a moment every once in a while to go back and stim your army when you can. And yeah, look at this, guys. This is another game of efficiency, right? Our opponent did a double racks opener with no economy, and he did not attack. That is a big no-no in StarCraft 2. You cannot open up aggressive and then play defensive. You can't do that. And the reason why you can't do that is because if you do that, you die. You have 0 chance to win. He opened up double racks factory, double gas. It's too much. It's super inefficient with your economy, right? That's why, watch the supply right now. Notice how we're still pretty close. It's because we both start with 12 workers. That's why it's close right now. But look at what the supply is going to be about 5 minutes from now. It's not going to be close anymore. It's going to be very one-sided. And it's gonna gradually get to that state as time goes on. So nothing's happening really. We're both just playing our defensive gameplay. Nothing's really happening. Nothing is happening. He's see what this guy's job is? He's like trying to set up this widow mine minefield around the map. That's what his goal is, right? It's just fun. It's fun to do that. Sure. It's definitely like it's different, but it's not efficient. Because if we can honestly say nothing has died this game. No one has attacked anyone yet. 0 things are dead. Yet I have double his supply by 6 minutes. There's a clear problem with efficiency right now. With one player. It means one player is playing really efficient and the other player is not. So our drop gets here. We do our stim pack thingy. And how does this drop do? It aggroes onto his army. The medevac just flies into the missile turret and dies. The Widowmine pops the rest of our Marines while his bio fights our bio. Overall, bad trade for us. We just lost 600 resources versus 375. But you know what it did do? We killed 4 SCVs with that. We also made him pull his entire mineral line with that. So even though we just lost 225 resources more than him right there, so we're actually down by 225 resources, look at the income tab. We're making that back super fast. And we're going way beyond. I am crushing the SCV count right now. So definitely worthwhile. That was definitely, and also here's the other thing, right? It's not just about the damage. It's not always just about the resources lost and the current income. We also have an idea where his bases are now. We know for a fact he has nothing on the top of the map, and that's his natural. What does my opponent know? Nothing. My opponent knows literally nothing about what we're doing. For all he knows, I could have 5 fucking command centers on 5 different bases right now. I could open up with a build that is 5 command centers into like 20 barracks. He doesn't know. He didn't scout, right? So again, that is a scout for us as well. So now we know there's no chance of some hidden bullshit on the top of the map. And we also confirmed with an SCV scout early on what he was doing. And we just reconfirmed, cool, he's got an expansion now. So even though our opponent did not open up with an expansion right away, he now has one, which reinforces the fact that we are ahead. Hardcore. Because if you open up with no economy versus someone who does, and then you eventually just make economy, you're just going to be super far behind, as we see here. It justifies why we're ahead. Like, if there was no natural, and I might be afraid of, like, what if he goes double port BCs and teleports to my base or whatever. There's more chances for other random chaos crafty stuff. But the fact that he's expanded now, it just solidifies a good lead for us. You have to start thinking about the game that way. If you don't, you really should start thinking about it like that, because we're like taking bits and pieces of information throughout the game and stacking them on top of each other, and it's building up a game plan that we're reading out of our opponent. No economy investment early to now economy investment follow-up later on means if we're both playing defensive and one of us did a good economy and one didn't, well, the one who did a good economy is going to be way far ahead.
Command center.
And how can you tell that? You just compare your build to their build. I see my opponent went for multiple production, and when I only had 1 racks, he had 2 racks. When I had 1 gas, he had 2 gas. When I had a command center, he didn't have shit. You gotta think about it like that. Break the game down in a way where you can understand who's ahead.
Upgrade.
Because if my opponent opens up aggressive and does not attack me, how the fuck can you ever expect this to have more supply than you if it's later than you? SCVs are the key. Workers in general in this game are the key to increasing your supply faster, because it increases your income. And income means you can spend your money faster. And spending your money in this game is how you build your supply up.
Mineral field depleted.
So here comes our double drop, right?
Mineral field depleted.
So we stopped here to check this base, and we confirmed there wasn't a base, and then suddenly a command center flies into vision. So we drop here anyways. And there's a Viking there shooting my medevac. Whatever. This medevac tries to drop the top base, and what does it do? It flies to a fucking widow mine. So it dies. So this medevac didn't do anything. It flew over this widow mine, and it flew over a widow mine over here, because this guy's all about spreading widow mines out. But again, we'll look at this drop now, right? Look at this drop. What does our second drop do? Number 1, we've reconfirmed this guy's on 3 bases, and we know exactly where they are. The biggest thing of all is we just confirmed the map. We located everything. There is no chance of a hidden base that we don't know about, whereas my opponent knows nothing other than a trail of widow mines going to one of the expansions. He literally knows nothing about the left side of the map, and knows I could have a base there for all he knows. He has not scouted the map very much. So he's playing, he also has not scouted my base once. So he's playing a very blind game. You don't want to be like that. That's a bad habit. You don't want to be blind all the time, because then you don't know how to read a game. Now we're stim packing our units. They're attacking. I literally did microed nothing here. I just literally walked to the middle of the middle line. Like we've been talking about, I stim packed and I A moved. And whatever is happening is happening. I did not tell my Marines to attack a Viking. They did it by themselves through aggro. And the medevac died, which lost me vision of high ground, which means my Marines stopped attacking the high ground. But are they going to kill a command center right now? They fucking might, dude. That command center just died. That drop just killed a command center. I didn't know that happened, but that's fucking amazing. Awesome. Guess what? That's a huge lead for us. Holy shit, that's so good. Now look at, remember what we talked about by like 8 minutes? Or that's 9 minutes. You get the point though. Look at the supply, guys. I haven't killed really any of these guys, any of this guy's units. I just killed the command center. And to be fair, it's like when you lose a base like that, it definitely is gonna hurt you in the long run. It will definitely hurt you in the long run, because now he has to rebuild it and he has to slowly go from here forward. But that command center is not why his supply is so low. Killing it right now is not like, oh, I killed the command center, suddenly his supply drops by 50 or something like that. The reason why his supply is low is because the build is inefficient. That's why. And now it's even more inefficient because it was already inefficient before, and now the command center died, which is going to make the future of this point from now on even more inefficient. It's going to suck for Terran. So resources lost, we're still negative, but overall resources gained and overall supply, we're crushing. And then our final push, this is what it looks like, right? We clear out the widow mine, we make our building planetary. And this is what our final push looks like. We get across the map, we run into more widow mines on both sides. And here's the final push. So again, like we said, if I move my whole army, like right there, this army is going to get stupid, right? Because it's a wall here, and these units are not going to run through a wall and then go down to that point. That's not how units in StarCraft work. Since there's a wall, it now acts like a terrain field, where the only way my units will work properly is if one of these depots die. And if my Marines are too far away when I move over here, they won't just run down to the depots and kill them. They'll run around, because this is now telling the AI, well, this is an open pathway to get there. I'll do that. So I have to I have to green box this army after I move everything down to there because of this wall. I green box this army and I move the front of the wall, which will now tell my Marines to run here instead because there's no wall in front of, between my Marines and my location to attack right there. There is no wall in between that. So they'll actually go there. And that's what we do. They actually go there. And now that depot is dead right now I can once again move here and these Marines would no longer be stupid. Because now it's telling them to go through this location, which is open. Okay, and so that army, you saw what that army did, right? It killed the depot wall. Let's see what this army does up here. We didn't see this. This is what this army does up here. It engages his army. We're killing battlecruisers. We're killing a Viking. We're killing stuff. These stores really should be in high impact payload. They're not. This battlecruiser could die so much faster if they were. So that's an oversight right there in our build, right? He floats away another command center. And look at that economy, guys. Not looking good, right? Look at that supply. Not looking good. So now the next fight when we push into his natural is just going to be like a demolished base. Too much shit for Terran. For us. And you guys get the point. Hell yeah. You guys get it. People always say this to you when I make this series. They're like, Vibe, why are your opponents not nearly as good as my opponents? And it's the exact same concept I said earlier. When if you make the game harder for yourself, it could feel like the game is actually harder than it actually is because your build sucks. Legit. Like that could be definitely a thing. It was a VFAM player. Life alert. Life alert. No. Hopefully that was just like a disconnect and he's not gonna do it. I don't want it to happen multiple times.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
Pris Picaro, thank you for the 18. I mean, Pris Picaro 18, thank you for the prime. Thank you, man. Much love. Okay, now we got Alt Killer. Okay. Alt Killer. Interesting name.
Not enough minerals.
Let's go ahead and stack our depot, or stack our mineral patches. Let's build our depot.
What's going on?
Stack our patches. And yes, that was also a placement match for that guy, for sure. But I get this all the time where people are like, Vibe, why are your opponents always so easy? Mine are so hard. It's because people don't know how to reference time.
Additional supply depot.
And they don't know that their game is not as strong as my game. And the example that they're trying to copy is not actually... They think they're doing the example, but they're not. Like, if I tell you to run a lap around a track, and it takes you... Like, if I do it in 30 seconds, and I say, this is how you run it in 30 seconds, and you do it in 1 minute and 7 seconds... You didn't do the same fucking thing right there. It's a completely different scenario.
SCV ready.
Like, time is a valuable thing in StarCraft 2. It's a real time strategy game. Time is pretty important in this game. And if you disregard time and you just think that, like, oh, Vibe made Marines and I made Marines, it's the same thing. It's really not. Okay, let's go ahead and make our... Marine, our command center, and now let's make our gas. Meanwhile, our SCV is going to scout. Just right click his mineral line, it's all good. Let's get ready to start a second depot. Wait, our gas is super late this game. I just realized that. Whoops, I fucked the build up. It's okay, not a big deal. I was talking about the analogy way too much.
Command center upgrade.
It's okay, if this happens to you guys, guess what we're gonna do? Same exact build as we're already doing. But our factory is a little bit later now. It's all good. So Zerg is expanded. which means we're happy. We're not getting all in right now. We don't need a bunker at the moment. We do not need a bunker. We're happy, 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 happy. Okay, we can just kill the Overlord. If you see the Overlord, just kill it. It's fine. I was thinking about not killing it, but like if you see it, just go fucking kill it. Might as well take advantage if he gives you one. Okay, and the Overlord actually doesn't die. Okay, well, that's fine. Start our factory.
Not enough energy.
Start making our depot wall. We have a lot of minerals and not a lot of gas, so there's two ways we can fix this now. Normally, we either take our gas after the factory or in our third command center later, or we could take our second gas faster, a little bit faster, or we can take a command center. Let's just choose to go for the greedy route. Let's fix this by taking a little bit of a faster third base. It's all G.
Command center up.
Faster third base. This is more risky now than the other ways we have been playing before, but it's totally fine. Okay, let's go ahead and start another gas because our factory is done. And let's build another barracks. Let's start a tech lab on that factory.
Add-on.
Make some marines out of our reactor racks. Thank you very much for the subs. Knowledge. Or you did, it did you twice for some reason. Thank you very much though for the prime, dude. Much love. Thank you, thank you. Much love, dude.
Add-on.
Knowledge. Put 2 SUVs on that gas. Check my patches, right? We have 3 on that patch. Move it over. We have 3 on this patch. Move it over. We just fixed it. Nice. Make some SUVs drop.
Not enough energy.
Can we scan the high ground if the Overlord's red? Don't fucking scan the high ground. No. The answer is no. Do not scan to kill an Overlord. Such a waste. We'll worry about killing Overlords more when strategy becomes a real thing. But we're doing the same thing every game either way, so we don't care if our opponent scouts us. It's not about hiding your build. It's about doing an efficient build.
It's add-on.
This is where people always think about the game so much. It's like 2 + 2 is 4, and then people just try to go for like the 10th dimension of how to get there. They're like, well, what if this happened? I need him to not know what's going on. I need to knock out his scout. Who fucking cares if he scouts us? Our build is literally the same thing every game anyways. It doesn't matter. Don't overcomplicate the game. Don't waste a mule for a scan. Doesn't actually do anything for you there. Yo, Fitzy, thank you very much, dude, for the raid. What up, guys? Currently making a series called Bronze GM series. I'm in Platinum 3 at the moment with Terran. I do it for every race. It's basically like a guide on how to learn how to play StarCraft in a much more simple, approachable way. Go check out the YouTube. Oh, go if you actually like it. If you like what you're seeing, I have a YouTube channel as well posted with it. And people from my stream, go check out Fitzy's channel. He's a fucking former StarCraft 2 badass.
Add-on.
He was a teammate of mine actually a long time ago, and now he's a Overwatch god, a Sombra god. But yeah, Fitzy, much love, man. Thank you, dude. Okay, so we're dropping mules on the third base, guys. We will make some depots here as well. It's all good. Let's throw down some more racks. We also, we need to take some engineering bays. I forgot that. Take some racks as well
Not
while we're at
enough
it.
minerals.
And we can take like maybe one more over here or
Not
something.
enough
It's all good.
minerals.
Keep making units. Let's go ahead and start. Our upgrades are going well. Stimpack's on the way, so we already have that. Make more depots. And now we're done making tanks because we have 3 and we haven't been attacked yet. We don't feel pressured at all. Let's go ahead and load this medevac up and let's drop this medevac on the right side of the map. Let's do the right side this time. Okay. This base is fully saturated. Let's go ahead and take another base. It's pretty much fully saturated when the next set pops. And let's also take our gas.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, let's also start our upgrades and let's start an armory while we're at it as well. Make a couple more reactors here for more bio. Another reactor. Saturate these gasolas properly. Keep building depots here. Let's wall this off. Okay, there's a base. Let's drop it on the side. Let's make a couple more. Remember the 3-second rule? Let's stim pack it now. Stim pack, go to the middle, A move. Okay, now let's go ahead and make a couple more racks again. And why are we doing that? Because our money's getting high. We need to definitely spend our money. Also, army's about to finish, so we're about ready to make Thors with our army as well. This base is looking pretty juicy. Let's start transferring SCVs to the top right base over here. Let's make a couple more depots. Get our Thor upgrade, start making Thors, keep making Marines. Let's transfer our command center over here and transfer a lot of SCVs over there too. 1, 2, 3. We just grabbed 6 off, send them up there to go mine. Let's build another command center while we're at it, which can take another base with somewhere else.
Ready for dust off.
We'll grab these racks, put them into our control group of number 4. Keep making our units. Now we have a big army, right? Also, let's get combat shield on the barracks. Let's do double drop this time. Again, this is a scout that's going to check the map. Make sure we're not getting out expanded by the Zerg in a crazy way. Let's make him play more realistic. Make a planetary there. Keep making Marines. Drop some mules there. Mule hammer that shit for like a second. Make a couple more depots.
Not enough. Upgrade.
Get our upgrades going to 2-2. Transfer some SCVs off to a new base. Get a Thor.
Additional supply
Get a couple more
depots
medevacs. Get like one more depot, and we should be supply like at max supply now. And now we see there's no base here, but there is a base here. Look at this. Drop this base.
complete.
And now there's no base there, so drop this
Command
base.
center upgrade
1,
complete.
2, 3. Go back to this.
Mineral field
Move to the middle line. A move. Now, at the very least, I know where my opponent's bases are, and I also know he's going mass fucking Hydras. So, even though those drops sucked ass, because this guy did a really good job of defending his base, we know what our composition of our opponent's going for. So that's good. So now what we can do is we're about to max out. And let's now set up on one of his bases. Let's go set up our army to go kill one of his bases.
research complete.
Let's also make this Orgo high impact payload.
Upgrade complete.
Let's go over here. Let's go to the right. It's like take our army and go over this way. This way it also indirectly guards our expansion we're floating over right now. Fix some SCVs that are over. Let's also make a bunch more barracks while we're running over there. Barracks, 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 barracks. Factory, starport, shift, right click that mineral line. Now let's send half my army down there. Green box a good chunk of it. And have half my army come back like right here.
Base is under
Okay, well if he's attacking me now fuck it. A move towards his base. If he's attacking you, don't be fancy anymore, just go. Just fucking go. So re-rally everything in the middle. We can make new racks over here to again, we want to try to hit more production facilities. So now we A move, stim pack,
is under attack.
shift A move, shift A move,
Our SCV
go back to our
is
base
under
and make
attack.
just make stuff, whatever we need. Make depots if we're supply blocked, make another command center if we need to,
upgrade complete.
take another base if we can, make marines,
Mineral
make
field,
Thors, make
additional
medevacs.
supply depots required.
Drop another depot because we're supply blocked. Get level 2 upgrades on Thors.
Mineral field
It hasn't been stim packed in a while. Let's stim pack again.
Get me out of this mess.
Transfer some SCVs off. Take this base again.
This better be good.
Get a couple of tech labs on these racks. We want to make 4, right?
base is under attack.
We're currently at
Under
18 production
attack.
buildings, so let's make a couple more.
Sure thing.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
Okay, he's got a big ass Hydra army there. It's fine. It killed my command center. Not a big deal, guys. I don't give a shit. Make a bunch more reactors. Make marines.
Add-on
Make marauders.
Ready
Make
for
Thors.
Not
Make
enough
medevacs.
minerals.
Somebody, get
Get
me out of
get
this
concussive
mess.
shells on our marauders. Get 3/3 upgrades on our bio. How's our bases looking? Bases are looking pretty good.
Roger.
Keep making SCVs because again we lost some SCVs there, so we need to replace that.
Coming through.
Keep making SCVs. Drop a mule hammer for 1 second. Let go. Boom. There we go. Make a reactor on the starport.
SCV ready.
Keep making SCVs.
Add-on.
We're almost maxed out on SCVs again, guys. Super close. Make a bunch of marines.
Not
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough.
And now let's hit the left side of the base whenever we hit him next. Let's hit the left side. Is Vibe versing an AI right now? No, this is a Platinum player.
SCV ready.
This is Platinum League, guys. Platinum League StarCraft. This game can literally be this easy if you know how to macro. Okay, let's go ahead and build another expansion.
Add-on
SCV count is just about done. We're at 80, currently 84. We're about to be 85. 85 is where we want to stop again, right?
Complete.
Let's make a couple more Thors.
Not enough minerals.
Upgrades. Oh, we forgot to get the upgrade here. Let's get the
Not
upgrade.
enough
Now we're good.
minerals.
Cool. Let's transfer some SCVs over that are excess. Let's take our gases here because we want 3 bases of gas, and this now that's died, so we want to retake that. Keep making Marauder. Keep making
Not
Marine.
enough. Command
Keep making
center
medevac.
upgrade complete.
And look at us. We're maxed out again. Oh, baby. Let's take another base. This command center is done. Transfer 3 SCVs off. Go to somewhere new. Let's go down here, I guess.
Mineral field depleted.
Transfer 2 more SCVs off this base and go over here. How's the natural? It's over by 2. How's the main base? It's over by 0. Okay.
Mineral field depleted.
So now we can go ahead and move towards his base because we're maxed out. Let's put our Thors in high impact payload. Let's go left side this time, just like we talked about. Left side. Now this time we're fully made on production. Let's get 1 turret per mineral line. Turret, shift click mineral line. Turret, shift click mineral line. Turret, mineral line. Turret, mineral line. Now let's make 1 turret near our production as well. Turret and a turret here for production. This way now we have a much better assortment of shit for scouting our base. Now spread my army out. So this time we just did the trick of splitting our concave. I'll show you. We'll explain how it's done. He shows up. We move towards him. We call it a day. We go right back to macroing. It's super easy what we just did. Let me show you again. Well, we'll kill the base first and I'll show you. So kill the base right now.
Upgrade complete.
This is what we just did, okay? All we did, because we saw his base was here, and again, I want to have a good concave. I don't want my army to fight in a blob. I go like this. A move, green box my army, right click backwards a little bit. Like this. So again,
Mineral
one more
field
time.
Depleted.
A move, green box half my army, right click. Now my army's spread out. Now I A move everything because I have a way bigger concave. I'll do the same thing here. I wouldn't necessarily need to do it here because again, the rule is if you kill their army in the fight, just fucking go, right? But now check this out. If I A move everything like right here in a blob up to this base, it's not ideal, right? But if I can do this 2 ways. I can either have army go here and come around, or if I want to take a better fight on the ramp, I could actually have my army go there, back here, and then I could A move up, and now suddenly I have I have both sides of the ramp being utilized, and it's more efficient. A move into his base, shift A move, shift A move. Go back to macroing.
Mineral field.
Make Marauders, make Marines, make Thors, max out my supply. Boom, 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 boom.
Upgrade complete.
There we go. Nice, dude. And now there's creep in my fucking way. We'd want to kill creep. Get rid of that shit so I can retake it.
The first time many of us watched B2GM, it was already done, so this is pretty cool to see you make the new series.
Yo,
Will you keep the part in the Plat 3 toss video where you ate a whole banana without chewing it or peeling it?
No, I never did that. Never happened. Thank you, Mo Capitan. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you for the 3. But now, again, going back to the game, just looking at supply, right? Nothing crazy happened this game. Nothing crazy happened. In terms of like, oh my god, attacks were all over the place. It was just chilling. Okay, and we got our... Yeah, look at him. He's actually heading supply right now. He's actually heading drones right now. This is normal for Zerg, I would say. He's doing... It looks like he's doing B2GM build, honestly. Alt Killer is literally doing B2GM build for Zerg. Good on you, man. Hell yeah. And that's why he's formidable right now, guys. Look at this. He's not fucking around. He's ahead of me right now. So our first drop tries to go in. Gets a little bit of damage done. How much damage did we do there? Overall, we killed a queen, and that was it. And then all my Marines and my medevac died. Not a good trade for me, overall. But we scouted the map with it. And also, if he misses injects because of that, that's also really nice. So it's indirectly nice for other reasons other than just saying we did damage. But yeah, look at this guy. He's formidable, guys. B2GM. Go in the distance. Now we have the double drop. This is the double scout. So let's watch this medevac first. We'll do this twice, right? We'll watch this one first. What does this one do? It flies in and fucking dies. He's got a lot of units sitting here ready to catch the medevac. Now what does our second medevac do? Our second medevac flies in, and it actually gets to a mineral line that's exposed at the moment. This is nice. And now we stim pack, and we're going to move to the middle of the mineral line, because again, that's just what we're doing. I'm not actually trying to micro here. We're just in a sequence of things. We're trying to make sure we get efficient drone kills. And for players out there that understand how to micro, yes, obviously, if we just sat here and killed drones from behind the mineral line, but instead of running into hydras in the middle of it, yes, we would have gotten more drone kills if we sat back here. It would have made more sense. But it doesn't matter, because again, it's just about the concept of understanding how to set something up. If our opponent happens to defend it, he happens to defend it. We'll worry more about micro later on. And the final reason why this is why I would say it's not really your focus right now in Platinum to like look at this situation and go, how can I best kill drones right now? Is because if you do that, you're not gonna macro. And if we kill a difference of like, if I don't micro and I kill 5 drones versus if I do micro and I kill 9 drones, because his army's already here anyways. I'm not gonna be killing this whole mineral line, guys. He's already here. So my shit's gonna die regardless, unless I load up and go over here or something. But the more time I invest in this drop, the less time I'm investing into macroing. And again, this is the goal. This is the priority, is your macro. Fixing your fucking build. Fixing your like your upkeep of your mineral lines. All that kind of stuff. So that's what our goal is, right? We don't want to we can't really multitask yet, so we shouldn't over micro anything. There's really no micro still. It's just setting up micro. The setup of what micro would be, but not actually doing it. And our drop gets fucking destroyed, right? The resource is lost. Zerg is destroying us. Oh my god. Zerg owned our ass right there. In terms of resources lost. Resources gained. Zerg's doing a good job as well, though. I mean, we have mules. We're Terran. This is what mules do for you. It's it's juicy. It's pretty nice. I have over 5,000 income for minerals a minute. It's pretty nice, guys. It's a jackpot. That's what you call a mule hammer. But also, look at this. Look at my bases. I guess my bases are oversaturated. This is good. This is good. This is oversaturated because this base is on its way and it's about to develop. How about the Zerg? Good. Oversaturated. Under. And over. So Zerg actually, it's whatever. Zerg's economy is mostly fine. Both of our economies are fine. They're both mostly fine. Very fixable from this point. I can't really harp too much on either one of us about what's going on because these can be easily fixed super quickly. And it's very minor about how many drones are fucked up. It's pretty normal to have a game look like this. At points of the game. It's not supposed to be like this all game. Obviously, he could fix it or I could fix it. Yada, yada, yada. But now let's look at the next fight. Let's look at the next fight. This is the fight where... Oh, actually, this is the base trade, right? Where we're going to try to set up an initial fight. This is the base trade. So we set up... Because he starts base trading us, and we're like, ah, shit. Let's not worry about setting up the initiation of a fight. Because his army's way the hell over here. We'll watch the Zerg's army for a second. This is what Zerg does, right? Zerg kills my base. And then he runs home to defend.
You were right. Bio is hard.
Yeah, it is.
I was in D3 with 2019 B2GM. Now I'm in Plat 3 with Bio. Thanks for the series.
It is harder. It's because it's not an immovable composition. This army is made of fucking glass. Thors are made of bricks. This army of Marines is made of glass. So if you ever walk your army to a bad spot, it can all die within a second. It does not matter what you walk your Thors into. They're tanky as shit, and they will tank everything. And they do insane damage, so they will do damage really well as well. Marines are very, 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 very fragile units, but they can do really great things if they're managed properly. That's why this Bio series is harder. Yeah, and if anyone who's like, I don't understand Vibe, what do you mean? I talk about that, and go watch the YouTube series. If you don't know what it is, you can definitely check it out right here. Terran GM. That command is in my chat for people on Twitch, and you can go, I give you like an introduction and I talk about these kinds of things about, that stuff. But yeah, and also the Terran series itself as it develops. Anyways, thank you for the 5 Brambleshire. But since so we're just full on base trading, right? We're not turning around. You shouldn't turn around either. Our opponent decides to turn around. So what he's doing is he's spending all that time crossing the map again, coming back to his base while I'm just killing more of his base. It's kind of fucking things up for him because it also alleviates all the pressure off of me. So now I'm back on full macro and no relocation. It's definitely a good thing for us. So things are dying for Zerg like crazy. And as you can see, even though the Hydras get up here and they kill the Thor and stuff, we're currently in the middle of the Zerg's base just mowing things down. Bases are dying. And the reason why it's really scary, again, to turn around in a base trade is because even if this army dies, even if he actually kills my army, if I kill his economy in the process more than what I've lost, so you can see already, I'm still ahead in economy, and we're about to kill another base. I am not microing that. That's pure A move. It's just rally A move commands, like A move there, A move there, A move there. The areas. Now, I'm not clicking the hatcheries, I'm clicking the ground around the hatchery. And now that the Zerg lost his expansions, he lost 2 bases to me only losing 1 base. Look at the difference up here in the top left. This means that Zerg is always going to be trailing the Terran in terms of being able to redevelop as a race, as a whole. It's going to be rough for Zerg to catch up now because we killed a lot of his larva efficiency and we also killed a lot of his income. Meanwhile, look at us. We're repositioning ourselves really quickly. We only lost 1 base, which has now already been fixed. And this is going to put Zerg in a hole all game now because we're going to remax faster. And it's just going to be rough. Some of you out there might be like, well, Vibe, he's got a lot of money. Why isn't he maxing out? Because if you lose your fucking hatcheries and your queens, you don't have any larvae. And you can't actually remax with no larvae. Zerg needs larvae. So it causes a big hiccup in the Zerg's overall production. Like, he has a lot of money because he had a good economy setup. He did a B2GM style. But he let himself kind of get mowed over in a base trade right there for a moment. And he didn't mow me over enough. So now he's in a really hard position. And then now the next fight comes up. And again, this is what once again what we did was our whole army is A-moving the area. Like right there. And then we A-move the area. And then again, all we do is we just green box about half my army and then A-move the other area. That's it. So our army spreads out into 2 clumps. A clump there and a clump there. And now look at how good our concave is, how fast it happens when our opponent engages us. That concave happens like immediately. Look at the size of that fucking concave. It's humongous. That's like a screen-wide concave. That's huge. And it's giving us a really good engagement on the Hydras. And then, yeah, like we said before, at this point, the game's over because even the economy's even more crippled now for Zerg. So there's not much Zerg can do here. But yeah, yo, alt killer, GG man, nicely done. You know, you maxed at the same time I did, so you were definitely formidable there. You definitely had a chance. But much love, dude. Hey, keep up the B2GMing. Nice. If you want the complete, strongest A-move army in B2GM, it's Terran Mech. It is Terran Mech. That's what I said that before. Terran Mech is the strongest A-move army in Platinum and below. Zerg and Protoss styles are in the middle in Platinum and below. And then Terran Bio is the weakest in Platinum and below. And the reason why, again, is because Marines are fucking made of glass. They're really good units if used properly, and really crappy units if used improperly. Zerg and Protoss styles are overall, they just synergize better with the way that the races develop. I don't think Zerg and Protoss players really have a hard time switching from Roach Hydra to like Ling Roach or whatever, or like Ling Hydra. Whereas Protoss, same thing. You don't have a hard time switching from a Stalker Immortal to like Zelda Immortal, Archon. It's fine. But Terran can't really go from mech to bio. It's 2 totally different styles. Terran has like, and the reason why this works like that is because of upgrades. Upgrades for Zerg and Protoss are ground and air based. So if you have a ground upgrade for Protoss, it upgrades not only gateway units, but it also upgrades robo units as well. So it upgrades Colossus, it upgrades Immortals, it upgrades Zealots, it upgrades Stalker, it upgrades Archon, it upgrades Templar. If you have a ground upgrade for Zerg, it upgrades Zerglings, it upgrades Banelings, it upgrades Roaches, it upgrades Hydras, it upgrades Ultralisk, it upgrades Swarmhost. It upgrades multiple variations of tech of ground units. But for Terran, ground upgrades are literally, or you have infantry upgrades and you have mech upgrades. So there is no ground upgrade for Terran, because if you get a bio upgrade, it does not upgrade tanks, it does not upgrade Thors, it does not upgrade Hellions. If you have a factory upgrade, like an armory upgrade for weapons for ground units, it does upgrade tanks and Thors and stuff like that, but it does not upgrade Marines. It does not upgrade Marauders. So bio and mech are a bit off. So yeah, that's why a lot of people were confused about how to fucking play bio, and wanted me to make more of a traditional bio series that goes bio all the way, and it's just harder to do.
Just started
But
StarCraft
it is
due
doable,
to
though.
peer pressure. Practiced against AI, and can max out in sub 10 against Elite. Time to start ladder cheese?
Yo, Jesus, thank you very much, dude. Do whatever you like, honestly. I'm not against people cheesing. I don't think you shouldn't cheese. If you want to have fun and cheesing is how you have fun, go for it. But I am against you cheesing if your goal in StarCraft 2 is to be competitive and be better at the game. If you're actually trying to get better at the game, you're wasting your time being a cheeser. Because all you're going to do is you're going to plateau forever. But again, if that's not your goal, if your goal is fun, do whatever you want. Whatever you want. The sky is the limit in your fun factor. Troll the shit out of your opponents. Oops, I just fucked up my SCVs. Fix them again.
Command center upgrade complete.
Let's make another depot. Make a mule. He expanded, so we don't need to worry. We do not need to worry about making a bunker. Also, he made a Reaper. We saw that. He made an expansion. All is good in the world of Terran right now. We're all G. And let's not build depots in front of our natural. Again, tank pushes would destroy us. Okay, there's a Reaper in my base. Let's A-move the Reaper. A-move the Reaper with our 2 Marines. And forget about it. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. It's going to die. Or it's going to run away. One or the other. Let this guy fuck with his own macro by wasting so much time attacking my mineral line and running around a lot. Let him try to be the fancy player.
Add-on complete.
Here, make more Marines.
Not enough minerals.
Make another SCV. Yo, real Ed Sheeran, thank you for the
Ever
10.
since starting B2GM, my erections have become fuller and more satisfying.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Thanks, Vibe.
Nice, dude. Congratulations on those erections. Okay,
Command center upgrade.
keep making SCVs, guys. Keep dropping mules. Keep building units. Alright, we didn't kill the Reaper either. It's okay. Shit happens, right? You're like, oh man, Reaper got out. I didn't micro to kill it. That's okay. Because you want to know what? I would not be surprised if at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, I'm ahead in SCVs. Even though I lost SCVs. Why is that? Because people don't multitask. People do not fucking multitask. Okay, let's siege our tank on the high ground. Over the cliff. Like we always do. Keep making SCVs. Let's make a couple depots.
Not enough minerals. Not enough energy.
Make a
Add-on
tank.
complete.
Make
Additional
another
supply
Marine.
depots
We need more
required.
depots, guys. Let's go ahead and drop a call down supply if I can. I actually can't. We drop mules too
Additional
fast.
supply depots
So we're waiting on these depots to finish. We're supply blocked. That's not great, but again, shit happens, right? Just try not to block as much as possible. Make a reactor on that starport. Let's go ahead and start our next command center in just a second. Third CC coming up right now.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCVs are still pumping. Things are going great. Siege our tank on the low ground over here. Make SCVs. Make another tank. We'll stop at 3 tanks because this guy's not really aggressive. Make another depot.
Not enough minerals.
Thank you, wow, for the bits.
I main toss trying out Terran. Only on the gold 3 VOD so far, and just following that has already gotten me to get me to plat.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Happy to hear it. Keep it up. Take a couple medevacs.
To clarify, is it time to face the ladder cheese? I wouldn't deviate from B2GM.
You want to face it? I mean, people are going to do whatever they're going to do to you. I can't speak for your opponents. I can't control people. You're going to fight cheesers. It's going to happen. There are cheesers all over the place. It never stops, by the way. You will fight cheesers in bronze, and you will fight cheesers in GM. It never ends. The only thing that changes about how that happens is players get better at it.
Do you think Jeebus is happy about his day of death being called Good Friday?
Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't be? Okay. Let's go ahead and send our drop to top left. Send another drop to bottom right. And go around. Okay, he's attacking us. Okay, well, he's attacking us, guys. Let's go ahead and unsiege our tanks. We're currently getting attacked right now. Things are a little different. Bring my medevacs back.
Waiting on you.
And let's drop our medevacs. Chill for a second. Okay. Now let's grab my SCVs and attack. Tell my army to go attack. Transfer some SCVs back to the main. Keep macroing. So that was just unfortunate timing, right? You're just like, shish kebabs. He fucking attacked me right as I left my base. Whoops.
Daily I get tempted by the devil of micro, but Saint Vibu, protector of macro, pulls me off the edge.
That's right. Don't macro, dude. Keep macroing. That's what it's all about. And now this guy has shown us that he's someone who likes to drop my mineral lines. Okay, he's a dropper. So what are we going to do now? Check this out. Let's take my tanks, let's relocate. A couple of tanks come over here, and a couple of tanks go over here. Like one tank on the high ground, one tank in front of the natural, and a couple tanks in the main. What if this guy drops me again? I don't fucking know. He might. Let's make a couple more racks. Let's make a couple of engineering bays, because I don't think I made those yet. Or I did. Just kidding. Just kidding. Make an armory. Upgrade our bio. And now let's go for a couple drops again. So, go, go, go. And you, go, go, go. Keep making SCVs. Saturate our gases here properly. And look, I've already fixed my economy for the most part. It's looking pretty good again. Let's get ready to take our third base. Like right now. Take our third base. And let's keep making depots.
Research.
Keep making units. Get stim pack, or get combat shield now, because we already have stim pack. And that's a moment where a lot of people would freak out and be like, oh, Vibe's already dead, GG, he lost. Like, have I though? What if this guy's not macroing? What if he's all thumbs and no macro?
Insufficient Vespine gas.
So now look, let's go ahead and drop his main. Let's go ahead and drop his other base over here. Okay, he's pushing me with liberators. Okay, now 3-second rule, right? It's dropping right now. So, 1, 2, 3, grab it, go in the middle line, A move. It's all good. People love to waste time in this game, and that's how you beat them. Drop a bunch of mules here. Let's take another command center, because we're going to be saturated really fast on this third base, and we need to expand again. We need to keep it going. Now, I started making like a couple of Vikings. We don't got to go mass Viking. We started making a couple of Vikings because my opponent is using liberators. If my opponent uses air units, it's okay if you want to throw in a couple Vikings in there. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you still prioritize mostly medevacs for your army. You don't only have like one medevac killing 50 Marines. Okay, keep producing units. Get upgrades. Okay, we need more gas, so definitely take our gas right now. Get gas going. Take a couple more depots. And what did we confirm? We confirmed my opponent's on 2 bases. We confirmed he has a main and a natural. He has no third, or he had no third at the moment. Maybe that has changed since then, but that was a huge scout. That was definitely a huge scout with those medevacs. Because by the okay, he's attacking us now. Let's go attack. Let's turn my Thor into a high impact payload Thor. Get my army ready to go. Spread it out a tiny bit.
Vibe, can you talk about
Stim
how
pack
you
into the
time
army.
this defense reaction?
Let's repair our command centers while we're at it. Keep making units. Keep making Thors. I am not microing a single thing right now, right? It's not the important part. Yeah, don't. I always break down the replays. No worries, KKMR. You're all good, dude. I try to break the replays down. Don't worry. I got you, man. Thank you very much for the support. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this gas saturated.
Not enough minerals.
Let's do another mule hammer on my next base, just really quickly.
Not enough.
Make a couple more units out of the medevacs, because that starport was doing nothing for a second. Let's make like 2 more depots. Okay.
Mineral field.
And make another Thor. Make some more Marines.
Not enough minerals.
And again, our supply is not hitting our threshold at 930 because this guy is aggressive as fuck, right? This guy's already killed probably like 30 SCVs. Who knows? It's killed a lot. He's definitely been aggressive. Okay, let's fix our economy. Transfer my mineral line rally point to the 4th base. Transfer oversaturation on the 3rd to the 4th base. And let's take a 5th base because the 4th base is fucking high on saturation. We're almost done making SCVs as well.
Complete.
Okay. We're just making up. Now let's check our upgrades, check our bases. Let's fix our main base. Maybe put another SV on that gas. Put that SV on the mineral line. We're all good. Base is perfect. Base is good, but we need upgrades. Get upgrades. Make sure they're both on their own building. Base is good. Base is missing 2 SCVs. That's all good. This base is started, so it's on its way.
Mineral field depleted. Additional
Okay, and
supply
now
depots
we're supply block, so let's drop 1 call down supply depot. And now we're good to go. Now we're maxed out.
Oh.
Now let's take my army.
Yeah.
Is he attacking me right now? Yes, he is. Okay, so let's A move. Take my army, A move like this. A move here. Grab a chunk of my army. Oh, he's actually there too. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and now A move the area right here and stim pack.
Mineral field
Fuck it. He's getting crazy. Let's just try to macro out of the situation. Transfer some
mineral
SCVs.
field depleted.
Keep making units. Keep making SCVs. SCV count's currently at 60. Okay, now he's got a Liberator over there. A move it, stim pack. Get over there and kill that shit. Now this guy loves to harass me, right? So let's make a turret. Let's make a turret. Let's make a turret. And let's make a turret. Keep making units on 4 and 5. Now let's check my mineral lines. Oversaturated. Oversaturated. Undersaturated, send them there. And good still. This base is also done. Let's make a turret. Make a planetary as well while we're at it. And let's send our army out to attack because why?
Not enough.
We're maxed out. So let's go ahead and go. Let's just hit the right side of the map first, okay?
Acceptable command. We are
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh my god. Let's attack the right side of the map. Make my Thors go high impact payload. Attack the right side of the map. SCV count's currently 67, so we got to fix that eventually again. This base, every base looks pretty good again. Let's take another base while we're at it though. And let's start making a couple more buildings for production. Make like 2 racks and a factory and a starport. Spend some of our money. Again, we need more production than 7 buildings.
complete.
And now let's hit this base. Is there a base here? Yes, there is. So just hit this base.
Upgrade complete.
Okay. Keep making units in the process. And that's going well. And now let's go ahead and take my army. And look, his army is here, right? We can repair this base if we can. And now let's just go A move, shift A move, shift A move, shift A move. Why am I doing that? Because it's a base trade. It is a base trade right now. So now just go back to making units again. Grab rally points of things. Make a reactor in that starport.
Under attack.
Make units. Make a Thor. Make medevacs. Make defense. Rally point my shit away from the army. And then take my other production over here and rally point it away from the army. Again, we don't want to have our units walking through his army repeatedly.
Required.
Just keep trying to build things. Like build another expansion. Build some depots. Because we're losing depots. It's all gravy, baby.
Base.
Stim back our army one more time because it hasn't stimmed in a long time. Keep
How
making units.
frequent do you as a GM run into people who end up macroing worse than plat level macro in B2GM due to distraction?
Are you talking about in GM League or are you talking about in Platinum League and below? In Platinum League and below, like 90% of the players I play against. The only players that actually macro properly, I swear to God, are the ones who do B2GM builds. And the reason why is because you can't do pro level builds that require multitasking if you can't even macro. Okay, so we're just making units, guys. Making Thors. We're just making units in the area. It's all
Mineral
good.
field depleted.
And if we lose that base, am I dead? No, I'm not dead. I'm still making SCVs and I'm going around the base. Let's transfer SCVs.
Are under attack.
Go to a new base up here. Rally SCVs over there. And let's have this base itself rally over here. Let's watch this. Look at the fight. Watch this fight. Let's go back and watch my opponent's situation first. In the base trade. Times 8. You see my opponent? Oh, actually, this game, he was aggressive a lot. Let's go back and watch a lot more about this game. So, our opponent attacks us with the Reaper, right? Let's talk about the Reaper. Look at production of SCVs, guys. Look at red.
In GM and below.
Yeah, like almost everybody, Doug. Everyone sucks cock at macro and GM and below. Or in GM and below, what? When you say in GM and below, you're talking about everybody in the game. Players who are Masters Plus, generally speaking, can macro pretty well. Players Diamond Plus, generally speaking, can only macro if they aren't distracted. Players Platinum and below cannot macro. They're like the players in Platinum are closer to being able to macro than Bronze players. So Masters Plus is really when you get players who can mostly macro while multitasking. But the thing is, here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. The skill ceiling of StarCraft 2 has no ceiling. There is no ceiling. You can literally play this game more efficient every year that goes by as your skill level gets better. This includes pro gamers, by the way, because you're capped out at what a human brain and your hands can handle at once. You're capped out. You cannot physically control every single unit in the game all the time.
Meant GM shit.
Okay. I'm still going to answer the question the way I'm answering it. You cannot control everything all the time at every point in the game. You don't have 5,000 APM as a human being. I can't have, and you're also limited by a screen. I cannot zoom out to the point in StarCraft 2 where I can see the entire map of the whole fucking map of StarCraft 2 at once, and I'm doing everything perfectly all the time. It's fucking impossible to do that. You cannot do that. But what you're trying to do as a super high level player, GM, pro level, way above, like, by the way, pro and GM are totally different. Pro level players can do more and more and more when they get more and more comfortable with what they're already doing, and they add a little bit more on all the time. That's why you have pro players who are way fucking better now in 2021 than they were in 2010 when the game first came out. You still had pros, but there's a big difference there because the more you get comfortable with the difficulty of what the game currently has, because everyone's better at it, you push it a little bit higher. You keep pushing the ceiling every day, little by little by little by little, again and again and again, higher and higher and higher. And what that means is, why that's important, why that's relevant to what I'm telling you, is if you play against someone who plays at a faster pace than you play, and they disrupt your pace, your macro goes to shit when you play someone like that. So if Cyril played against another pro gamer, they could probably keep the pace with him and have a real game. But if you have a random guy in GM play Cyril, the random guy in GM might have a really good win rate against Zerg, but then suddenly against Cyril, he's like, this is a different kind of Zerg. Holy fuck, it's hard.
Advice. But why did you say in our private lesson I'm only limited by the number of hot dogs I can eat without chewing? Mongers.
Because, Strophium, you seemed hungry and I just wanted to get you to eat as fast as possible. Thank you for the bits, dude. So yeah, the game has no ceiling. It literally can go forever. And the better your opponent is, the harder the game will feel. And whenever your opponent makes the game feel harder than it should, your macro will always dip. It happens to everybody. So it happens to GM players daily whenever they play players who are above GM level. Pro players and GM players are not the same beast. They're totally different. Even though GM players are in, or even though a pro player is in GM, it doesn't mean you're pro status because you're GM. Like, it's a big fucking difference. And you have a top level pro versus someone who's just like rank 196 GM. Okay, so first things first, look at this, guys. Watch. This is what I want to talk to you about really fast. Look at this guy's command center, right? Let's look at the worker count. My opponent is ahead by an SCV. A couple SCVs. And why is that? It's because he didn't make an orbital command. He did not make an orbital command, and we did. So we have a net power of a mule. So even though we're behind in workers right now because we made an orbital and he made SCVs, I'm going to pass him an economy because my mule is going to give me the difference of a lot of money. When this mule starts giving, like, look at it. He's barely ahead, right? He's barely ahead. But watch when the mule gives its first turn in. And right now. Mules are pretty fucking good. You want to prioritize the mule at all costs. Now, look at the SCV count, right? Watch this. Look at the last SCV. This is why I don't want you going Reapers in fucking Platinum. Look at the SCV. Last SCV finishes out of the command center at 156, right? And look at it. Well, he has an SCV in my base. The Reaper is currently about to pop out. But look, 156. SCV is finished. And he's currently probably trying to run his SCV away from my Marine, which is on a move. It's just, or it's just sitting there on a rally point. But still, look at the command center. 156 was the last time he did anything. And why is he not building an SCV? Because first of all, he was first going with this SCV in my base and running away right here. This SCV, this Marine spawns and it aggroes the SCV and he goes probably right here to his camera to go, SCV, run away. Oh God. And then suddenly look at this. The Reaper spawns and he sees another SCV. So what does he do? He goes for killing my SCV. And now he has not made an SCV, guys, in the last 20 fucking seconds, pretty much. That's a long time to make SCVs for, or start an orbital. So even though I had lost an SCV, and this guy hasn't even started an orbital command, SCV count overall is not nearly what it should be, honestly. Because again, the amount of time, he still hasn't made an SCV, by the way. The amount of time that's going to go by, like, here's what I mean. Okay, this is what I mean. An orbital command is the same amount of time, pretty much, as 2 SCVs. So if I go orbital and he goes no orbital, automatically he should have 2 more SCVs than me by default. Not only that, he also killed an SCV. I killed no SCV. He killed one of mine. So I should be behind by 3 right now. Just because he did not make an orbital and because he killed an SCV. I should be behind by 3. And right now, I'm only behind by 1. And also, he still hasn't made an orbital. The point is, this is the shit that happens to Platinum players if you over micro, and I guarantee what he's doing is he's playing with his Reaper and not fucking macroing. He still has not made an SCV. There goes the orbital command finally. And now he runs at my base. And he's attacking my base, right? Let's look at production really fast. Let's watch his camera as well. Like, what is he actually selecting while doing this Reaper? Reaper, 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 Reaper. Okay, he just made a couple Marines. Good job. Honestly, Nandox, thank you for making Marines. That was good shit. But in this entire time that he's been in my base, all he's made is 2 Marines. He's got a command center that's done. He's got an orbital command that's done. He needs to fucking use these buildings. If he doesn't use these buildings, he's going to fall behind. Because now look at this. He's killed 2 SCVs. Guys, he's killed 2 SCVs. And we're tied. How, like, he's killed 2 SCVs and we're tied. And you would think, and our builds were both the same, by the way. We both went like Depot, Rax, Command Center. Both of our builds were the same. But now look at this as well. Look at the natural. Nothing's happening here, yet our natural is already underway for an orbital. Like, our command centers are pumping constantly. We have another SCV about to pop out. That's a little overqueued right there. We'll fix that in a second. But you get the point. Like, no queue is bad. You gotta fucking fix your command centers. Now we'll go back to his vision just for a second, and let's watch what he does. He's making Marines. He's making an add-on on the factory. He kills another SCV. He's running around, running around, running around, running around. He's really trying to maximize that Reaper and maximize how much it doesn't die. And the Reaper actually doesn't die, and it gets out of my base. And he ran out of my base. I'm actually proud of him for running out of my base like right there and looking away instead of watching it go all the way to the ramp and jump down. Because it doesn't, like, him watching it or not watching it, it's not going to change the fact that he runs out of my base. The AI is going to do it either way. But what does change is that because he didn't macro while he was killing my shit, I did not even kill the Reaper, guys. I killed nothing. And he killed 3 units. Yo, Chris, thank you very much for the 200 bits. Guys, I killed nothing. Nothing of his has died yet. And he killed 3 of my units, which are all SCVs. Our builds were the same. He killed 3 SCVs, I killed nothing. Yet, I'm ahead by 7 supply. And in workers, I'm still ahead by 2 workers. How does that make any fucking sense? It's because he doesn't fucking make SCVs while he's attacking. He does not macro while he's attacking because it is hard to do that. And if you're not fully confident in how fast you can macro and how smooth it feels when you do it, you're going to feel like your build feels like fucking, it's awful. And now our builds are starting to deviate because now he's starting to go for a quick engineering bay and other random shit. And we're going for another Rax at this point. So it is starting to deviate. So it's going to get, the builds now are no longer the same. But up to this point, they were the same right now. Up until this point, they were the same. And we're just really far ahead because of the whole fact of macro. Like, look at this command center. It has not done shit for so long. This, guys, the last time this command center built an SCV was like 156. And he finally started another SCV at like 354. It was like 2 fucking minutes of no SCV production at all. And yes, there was an orbital command started there at some point, which is a 25-second upgrade. But still, 2 minutes? Take off 25 seconds? That's like 95 seconds of nothing going on this command center. That's a lot of SCVs. That's 12 seconds in SCV. 12 seconds in SCV out of 95 seconds is a lot of SCVs. This dude could have had so much more than he does. So again, why the fuck do I have 27 and he has 21 when he's the one who killed 3? I should have 30. If 3 didn't die. He missed 9 fucking SCVs. So that he could micro Reaper around my base. Was it worth it? I don't think so. Because now he's just behind all game. Okay, now he drops us with this big drop. And the funny thing is we do, if you guys notice, we do see it. This is something that, again, will happen more as you get better at the game. We'll start to have more mini-map awareness. But watch the left side of the screen right here. Watch over here on the mini-map. Watch the mini-map right over here, and you'll see red dots. Right about now-ish. Hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen soon. Right about now. See it? See how he goes across my vision? He actually gave us about like 8 seconds to react to this before he actually started dropping my base. Like, we saw him cross my depot's vision, and then he went down. So if we were paying attention to the minimap, we could have actually positioned ourselves before the drop hit our base, and that would have helped a fuckload at killing this. But yeah, no, it's okay. That's it is what it is, right? Now here's a cool trick, right? Here's a cool trick. Watch this. Here's a cool trick. I want you
Ready for dust off.
hold on. I want to get right back to the point. Okay. I want you to stare at like this area. Stare at like my mouse right now, okay? Stare at my mouse. I bet this probably won't happen for a lot of people, honestly. I bet you're probably not going to see it because I think this takes a lot of training. This is harder than the DT thing I showed you guys before. But stare at the mouse right here in the middle of the black area, which means our eyeballs are in this area looking at our building selection and looking at our upgrades. And like if we go to our production over here, we're looking at like current production values and stuff like that. We're looking in this area right here, right? We're looking in this area right here. This is what we're looking at. Now, watch this. Looking in this area, again, right here. Now, keep your eyes there on the mouse. Yeah, no, you're not going to see it. It's hard as fuck. I take it back. I'm just trying to, like... I'm trying to give you guys ideas on how your eyeballs should be shifting around the screen. Because, again, your eyeballs should be static. And the example I gave you is a shitty one. There's better examples I'll give you in the future. But the point is you don't want to do this, okay? You don't want your, like, if you're following my mouse with your eyeballs, you don't want your eyeballs to be looking around the screen like this. Literally going like this. Like in circles, being like left, right, down, up, left, right, down, up. And you're just like fucking headbanging and stuff while you're playing the game. You don't want it to be like that. You want your eyeballs to fixate. You want your eyeballs to snap to a location and fixate. Snap to a location and fixate. Snap to a location and fixate. So middle of the screen is a snap location. Top right of the screen is a snap location. Bottom middle of the screen, like we're talking about, is another snap location. And then mini-map is also a snap location. And when you snap your location, your eyeballs like this, here's another example, okay? This is an example I'll give you. This is an example I'll give you. This is a better one because it makes more sense. It's peripheral vision. So what I want you to do now is I want you to stare at my mouse again right here, okay? Stare at my mouse in the natural. So we're just staring at it for a second, okay? Just for a second. And you could also be doing this as well, like when you do things like, let's say you load up a medevac to drop Marines around the map and you're looking at the mini-map. It's all good. But look, just again, stare at my mouse right now. Stare at it. Stare at the mouse. And tell me if you see a red dot enter my base while staring at the mouse right now. Stare at the mouse. Just stare at the mouse. Stare at it. Don't look away. Stare at it. Stare at it. Stare at it. Stare at the mouse. Stare at the mouse. Do you see red dots right now? Do you see red dots? Stare at the mouse. Do you see red dots? Stare at it.
Base.
And now you're going to get attacked. So, like, the way I like to describe StarCraft 2, and I've explained this as well in other series for Zerg and Protoss here and there, but the way you play StarCraft, RTS in general, is different to that of which you play like FPS with your eyeballs. Because in an RTS game, your hands are really your eyeballs. Your eyes should be more static on the screen. And if like, for instance, if I want to look down at my command center right here, I don't want to go like this. And like look at fucking down with my head and be like, I gotta look down there. Like I gotta see the command center. I can't see it. If I want to look down at the command center, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stare here and I'm gonna go like this with my camera. My hands are my eyeballs in RTS. And a lot of people don't think about this game this way. They don't think about RTS games this way. A lot of people play RTS like it's fucking FPS, and they go like this. I want to look at my command center, so they do this with their eyeballs. They look at my mouse now. Like, pretend that my mouse is my eyeballs' eyesight. You go like this. You move your eyeballs down to look at the command center, and then you stare at the command center. Then you move your eyeballs back up to look at the command center. And then let's say you want to look at the depot. You look at the depot to the right, and let's say you want to put the depot like in the middle of the screen. You go to the right with your eyeballs. You look at the right side of the screen, and as you drag, now your eyeballs have to go left on the left side of the screen. And you fucking do these things where you like move your fucking head all over the place. It's not good. Your eyeballs need to fucking snap locations in RTS. Because if you fuck up your location, if I'm like, I want to go to my depot, I shouldn't look at my depot and then drag to my depot and then look at my depot and then drag to my depot and then look and look and look. That's fucking terrible. What I want to do is I want to have my depot where my eyeballs are snapped to. So if I need to worry about my depot, I can literally just drag my screen to the depot, and there I go. Now I'm looking at my depot in the middle of my screen. And if I want to go to my command center, I'm at my command center. If I want to go to my third base, or my natural rather, I'm at my natural. This is why camera hotkeys are a thing in this game. This is why you can click on the mini-map in this game, and you can move your camera around, because it's not all about constantly being like, I need to move my eyes. You don't fucking play that way in RTS. It makes no sense. Because it makes you miss shit on the map. So if you've ever wondered and you've ever watched and you're like, how the fuck did that pro gamer who saw the red dot on the minimap for like a split second, how did he see that? How the fuck did he see that? It's because he's not looking everywhere around the screen all the time. It's because he's got his eyeballs fixated, and then he fixates, and then he fixates, and then he fixates on important parts of the screen. He does not flail his eyes everywhere. And yeah, a lot of players that play FPS and a lot of players that play generic games overall, they tend to flail their eyes all over the place. You see more with peripheral if you keep your eyes static. And you also, again, your hands are your eyeballs in RTS. Your hands are the ones that move to change your vision, not your eyeballs. Your eyeballs only change vision to be things like checking on updates, like, am I supply blocked? How's my money doing? How's my production doing in the bottom of the screen right now? How's my, all this production going? Check the minimap. How's my minimap doing? Blah, 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 blah. All these kinds of things like that. Those are what's important. Not your fucking, looking at everything. Like, because again, you don't want your eyeballs to be over. Like, if your eyeballs are over here, what the fuck is over there, guys? There's nothing important over there most of the time on the screen. And if you're playing the game in this location with the green box, what the hell are you doing? Same thing over here. If you're playing the StarCraft 2 off of this side of your screen, what the hell are you doing? Same thing way the hell up here. What the hell are you doing? If you're playing the StarCraft 2 off this top left corner of your screen, what the hell are you doing? Now, you might see something and you might snap your eyes and snap back. And that might happen if something happens to be there. Like, for instance, if I saw him dropping me here and I go, my eyeballs go there and my eyeballs come back. I'm not saying to look at that army. I have to go, huh? Oh. But that only happens in micro situations. It only happens in micro situations. What I'm telling you is it should not be happening in macro situations. Your eyeballs should be fixated a lot more during the macro phase of the game. And then obviously when you micro, then you can move your eyeballs a bit more because you're trying to set up a fight for the micro. But you know what? I'm about to blow your fucking mind again. Micro is not the entire game. In Platinum League, it's barely any of the game. We're microing about fucking 0% of the time. Realistically, it's more like 2. It's like 2% because we're doing pre-fight micro. It actually is setting up a fight, but we're not actually doing anything during a fight. So your eyeballs need to be a little bit more fixated while you macro. If they're like that, you can see everything. It's like you have fucking vision hack. Because I can, like, for instance, as a higher level player that plays this game, I can see things like observers, but without having detection. I can see things like burrowed units from Zerg. I can see things like widow mines that are burrowed. I can see things like DTs that walk in my base. I can see fucking everything that's cloaked most often without even knowing it's coming. I just go, I'm like macroing, and I go, oh, there's DTs coming right there. And why do I know that? Because my eyeballs are fixated and I see blurs going on the screen. It's easy. It's like, now think like for anyone who plays FPS, think about it like this. Think about any time in an FPS game when you're sniping. You're like a sniper. And do you look around the screen when you're sniping? Like you have a scope and you're zoomed in on a location. Do you go like this when you're sniping? Obviously, no, you don't do that. When you snipe, you go like this. This is what you do when you snipe. And then if you see this, like look right here. Look at this box right here. Look at the box. Now watch my mouse with your peripheral while stare at this box and you will see my mouse with your peripheral and you'll see it move. So nothing's moving. Stare at the box. Stare at the box. Stare at the box. Now see if you can notice when my mouse moves. Keep staring at that box. Keep staring at the box. Keep staring at the box. Keep staring at that box. Keep staring at that box. Stare at the box. Stare at that box. Stare at the box. Stare at the box. Stare at the box. Stare at that box. Stare at the box. Do you see my fucking mouse moving around the screen whenever it moves? My guess is probably yes. And that's how you need to be playing StarCraft. You don't want to be moving your eyes in fucking circles. You want to move your fucking hands around the screen to move your camera around. Because that's what it's an overhead view, right? But your eyeballs should be a lot more fixated and static. It's important to know that. So he attacks us, and we go, ah, God. We were dropping, and now we can't drop anymore. How many SCVs did we just lose? I just lost 17 SCVs. Now look at this, guys. I just fucking lost 17 SCVs, and I'm still ahead by 6. And we did the same fucking build. We both have 2 command centers. I haven't made a single SCV off this third command center, by the way. We both made 2 command centers, and that was it. Like, we've been making SCVs off 2 command centers. This guy is just not making SCVs. And why is he not making SCVs? Because he doesn't fucking macro while he micros. 5, can I stop staring now? Yeah, you can stop staring now. It's fine. You don't got to stare anymore. So that's what the fight looked like. We just A-moved it. So again, how do we set that up? All I did was I went, oh, there's a drop in my main base. Okay, let's go ahead and unsiege my tanks, because what are they doing here now? They're doing literally fucking nothing. They just sit there doing nothing. And he's already sieged, which is scary. So how about I just grab whatever's left on my mineral line, A-move towards his tanks, and at the same time, select all army and move towards his tanks. So like right now, I walked near the area to group my army up. I just walked over here. I didn't walk in tank range. I walked in the area just before I attack him. And then as my army groups up, I then grab my SCVs, A-move, and then tell my army to A-move.
Stare at the bots.
Yo, thank you very much. TG owned. Thank you very much, man. Much love. Okay. And then now, because this guy plays a harass style, first he did the Reaper, now he's doing the drops in my main base. Let's leave tanks. Just leave tanks scattered. And look, now he's doing a Liberator harass, right? Now he's Liberator harassing me. He's killed 24 workers in total. He's killed 24 workers and I'm still fucking ahead by 9. And the Sir Command Center is still on its way to become a command center at the third base. And now we're going to pump SCVs out of it. Out of this third base. I have now killed 3 workers with our drop. So this was my drop, right? This is what my drop looked like. This is my first time I'm attacking him. My first drop did this. Okay, we got to slow the game down a little bit. This is my first drop. It flies right into Marines, missile turrets, and it's dead. Second drop. This is what second drop does. Gets in. No turrets. Lands some Marines. Did I know they were there? I had no idea. 3-second rule. As soon as all my Marines are out, I come back, I stim pack, I run to the middle of the mineral line. Once again, this is just like the Hydras. It would have made more sense to stand back there, but again, that's not the focus. Our focus is just to have a concept of killing workers. And if we run in the middle, if it's more likely to work, because if our opponent ever moves his workers away, there's a higher chance you're going to do more damage instead of being AFK sitting there after you kill a gas. Like you can kill the command center potentially and shit like that. If your opponent's that AFK. So our Marines die. We kill 3 workers in the process, though. And again, now we're at a 12 worker lead, even though we've lost 24 to him only killing, or we've only killed 3 to him killing 24. We still have a 12 lead. Difference of macro to not macro. It's a big, big, big difference. And now we're gonna start building up faster than he is because again, now our 3rd base is actually active, and we're producing workers faster than he is. And now my opponent kills 2 drops, and what does he do? He's getting ready to. Looks like he might move out. And there we go. He's getting ready to attack me now. So he's feeling confident, right? He just killed my army and he wants to attack me. So what do we do here? This time around, we don't in-siege our tanks because what if he drops me as well? I don't know. It might happen. So we just we high impact payload our Thor, and because we have a lot of bio, we just say, hey, army, go attack now. That early attack was really early. I only had like 6 Marines, like when he first showed up at my mineral line. That's why I unsieged my tanks. That was really fast. But now, I got a lot more than 6 Marines. I got I got 39 Marines, and I got 3 Vikings, and I got 2 medevacs, and I got a Thor. I got a way bigger army than 6 Marines and 3 tanks. So, or like 9 Marines and 3 tanks. So we can definitely just A-move this straight up. And the reason why we're going right away is because he's already killing my SCVs on my base. He's already compromised my economy, so we need to just fucking go. I don't want to wait for my army to run around all the way on this map and then come back for like a flank. Because that would take way too much time and my command center would literally die. Okay, so we killed his army. It was just an A-move. Easy peasy. We had more, so we crushed his ass. And then now this turns into a base trade. Now he's got more Liberators once again, attacking me all over again. And then he pushes me again, right here. So this is what the army looked like when I went to go fight it, right? It just got demolished. We just have too much. Again, this is a move. My army was pretty stupid there on the rocks. It was just a move, but it doesn't matter because we have so much. And now let's look at this really fast. Here's a fun fact, right? Check this out. So I have now lost 56 SCVs. 56. And I'm still ahead by 13. Macro versus no macro. Even though I'm the one taking crazy amounts of damage, and I've lost more resources in total than he has, I'm still maintaining leads that are tremendous. Because my opponent just doesn't have an economy like I do. Even though I've lost my economy, I'm still maintaining the lead. Again, 56 fucking workers have died. That's more than he's made in total. Bye, can you please explain high impact payload? I'll explain it really fast, but again, just know that that's something that I've already explained before in the series already. So it's like, it's just, if you watch the series, you'll hear it again if you watch it from the beginning. But the reason why we go in high impact payload is because high impact payload Thors in general are better against everything. The only thing high impact payload Thors are worse against is things that AoE makes sense against, like for instance mass Mutalisk. So a non high impact payload Thor has bonus damage to light, and a Mutalisk unit like a Mutalisk is a light armored unit, and it's also a unit that you make a lot of, and it stacks. And Thor being able to shoot harder damage shots against light units, and also allowing those shots to AoE a bunch of mutas at once, makes Thors good against things like a lot of Banshees, a lot of Phoenix, and a lot of Muta. Things that are lighter armored, and they're something you mass more. Like they have low HP. They're smaller air units. But in general, against everything else, high impact payload Thor outshines explosive payload Thor tremendously. And a Thor always spawns an explosive payload, which is the AoE form. So you have to always manually tell them to go high impact payload because they won't start in that way. And like for instance, here's was an example. I did an example of an overlord. 2 Thors killing an overlord, and one of the Thors was in high impact payload. One of the Thors was in explosive, and the explosive Thor didn't even kill 1 overlord. It was almost killing its first overlord in the time it took a high impact payload to kill 2 overlords and then sit there for a second. Like in the time it took a high impact payload to kill 2 fucking overlords, explosive Thor got an overlord down to like 30 hit points out of 200. So that's 400 damage versus 170. And the reason why it worked is because a high impact payload Thor does more damage, guys. It does more damage. So sorry, there was a little bit of a, my stream crashed and now it's back up again. Sorry about that. As you can see, it's, we had a bit of a technical difficulty here. Oh shit, wrong thing. So anyways, high impact payload throwers are good, right? They're super good. Really, 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 really good. But now, let me explain something really fast to you guys. So, that game actually pushed us over the threshold of Platinum 3, and now we actually are in Platinum 2. The threshold was 2893, and you can see right here we're at 2896, which means we're in Platinum 2. But right now, the ladder is currently locked, so there are no promotions anyways being shown in the game right now. They're going to happen after the ladder lock ends, which is always on the Tuesday after it locks, because all these things happen on like a Tuesday. It's like the weekly reset of Blizzard, essentially. So, we got it, guys. We're above. We're in Plat 2. That was our last game. We got it. And it kind of sucks that my video had to end like literally 15 seconds before I was probably going to be done. Like I was just about to leave the game after I explained the Thor thing. But yeah, hopefully you guys understand. Hopefully it all makes sense. This has been, sorry, that music is like, I'm going to mute it for a second. Sorry. I was like, it's really loud. This has been Plat 3, guys. Going into Plat 2. So I hope you guys have learned something from this. I hope it all makes sense. Sorry about the weird ass ending here for the awkward disconnect at the worst time ever. But I will see you guys in Platinum 2. And stick with it. Keep at it. Keep getting better at the game. Much love. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace. Have a great night. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. See ya.